The Spirit are set to take the ice. But first, get all the game day information you need. It's time for Countdown to Face-Off on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey, WSGW.
It's another great night for some Saginaw Spirit hockey, and the countdown is on as the Spirit hit the road once again, this time visiting the top team in the Midwestern Conference, the Kitchener Rangers. Good evening, everybody. Jonathan Dent here in the Stormmaster Exteriors studios. We'll be hearing from Dylan Clark. He's over in the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth coming up. But first, the Spirit looking to keep up the positive momentum back in the win column after besting the Windsor Spitfires on Saturday in thrilling fashion. I say thrilling fashion because things really did not look to be going the Spirit's way to start things off. Outshot by Windsor 29-11 through 40 minutes of play and scored on a little under halfway through the first. Stepan Shurigan kept their hopes alive during that time, but the Spits made it 2-0 in the first minute of the third period. And Saginaw started their climb back into things as the rough stuff really picked up. A power play with less than 7 minutes left in regulation gave them the opening they were looking for. Carson Harmer won the face-off in the offensive end. Dima Zhilkin put a shot on the Windsor netminder, and Nikita Klepov reeled in the rebound to light the lamp.
Back to Zhilkin off the draw, walks to the middle. Zhilkin takes the shot, pats it, rebound, he scores! Nikita Klepov there for the rebound, and the Spirit are on the board.
Just under 5 minutes later, with an empty net, the Spirit created some chaos in the Windsor end. Zhilkin took the same route to the top of the right circle, and his shot through traffic found the net to tie the game and take things to overtime.
And Zhilkin pulls it to the middle. Here comes Zhilkin, takes a shot, he scores! The captain ties the game!
Early in the extra time, Cole Davis put on the Jets entering the Spirit zone with A.J. Spellacy across from him. He cut across the net for a backhanded shot, but was denied by the glove of Stepan Shurigan almost at full extension.
Davis trying to streak up the near side, cut off by Zhilkin, pulls right on through him, 2-on-0, headed right to the net. Oh, the save! Shurigan with the glove! Davis came in, the fastest we've seen anybody skate in this game. Says, I'm putting this in myself, and Stepan Shurigan, absolute highway robbery.
Saving the game for his team once again, and the Spirit made the most of it. It was a zone entry led by Brody Popoy along the left side before making his way across to the right, sending a pass off the boards behind the net to Carson Harmer, and he shoveled it in to secure the win.
Up through neutral ice himself. Brody Popoy gets to the middle. Can he get a shot? Only sent one. Rebound, Harmer. He scores! An instant classic in Saginaw. Carson Harmer wins it in overtime.
With that, the Spirit closed out the weekend, entering a week without any games, well, until tonight. Not so for a few draft-eligible players, though, who went off to win with Team West in the Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game Wednesday night. Nikita Klepov led the way for the West with a game-tying goal and 2 assists, including on Igor Barabanov's game-opening tally. Stepan Shurigan closed out the game for the West as well with 15 saves on 16 shots in front of a packed house in Peterborough. All three have returned to the Spirit, and they'll now set their sights on the top team of the OHL's Midwest Division in the Kitchener Rangers. It's been all Rangers in the 3 games played so far in this 4-game series, with the most recent needing to be decided in the shootout December 13th when Jack Pridham had a hat trick keeping Kitchener alive throughout regulation. They're looking to make it 3 in a row after a pair of wins last week, while Saginaw wants to start off a long road stand with a couple points to better pad their playoff positioning. Given where the standings are in the West, these are very well 2 teams that could see each other in the postseason, and their final regular season matchup is just moments away. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Dylan talks with Spirit head coach Chris Lazary in Coach's Corner. This is Saginaw Spirit Countdown to Face-Off on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Garber is your local Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer. Family owned, locally trusted. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're where your vehicle is serviced by factory trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at your local Jeep and Ram dealer. Garber, Bay Road, Saginaw. Online 24/7 at GarberCDJR.com.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh and Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh and Associates. Retirement made clear.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Caravan Facilities Management also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
Now, get inside analysis directly from the Spirit coaching staff. This is Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner on this Friday night, the Spirit in Kitchener to take on the Rangers, joined by Spirit head coach Chris Lazary. And Coach, you guys come into this game 7 for 17 on the power play in your last 5 games. How have you hit this extra gear here?
Well, I mean, it's the players, right? Like we, as the guy running the power play, like we give out some structure, some keys we want. It's talent, man. Like they have a lot of input of what they're doing. They're executing. I think we're like shooting, recovering, making some key plays. And at the end of the day, it's talent. Like we lay out a plan, but good power plays, what I found over the years from running them is like the ones that have high-end talent. They just make the plays that doesn't matter what you draw up. They have to have the skill to make it or not. And they've been doing it. But like Kleppy and the boys, like they have been buying into like certain things that we think lead to goals on a power play. And at the end of the day, I give them all the credit.
You talked about the beginning of this week as a little bit of a mini training camp in the middle of the season. How'd that go for you, and what'd you focus on breaking down for the guys?
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of young guys, signed guys, even guys that have been here all year. It's a new thing to our schedule with this prospect game, where it seems like we're going to have post trade deadline, like a 3-4 day dead window where we can just practice. And we wanted to go through all of the stuff that we want to do and remind guys what we're trying to do in structure and really like slow it down, almost like D zone. Okay, if they climb up here, you go, these guys stay, he passes. So just do the walkthrough, then do it live. And it gives you a time to really just, it's not, we told our guys not about pace. We don't care about how hard we go. We'll worry about that in our last practice of the week, but let's like really get dialed into our details. Plus we only had one goalie, so we're kind of forced in a little bit, but I think it's just a good opportunity to like hammer home stuff that otherwise you don't necessarily have the time to slow it down like that, because you're trying to prepare for games like every 2 or 3 nights, and it's a different mentality.
You got 3 guys at that top prospects game. Nikita Klepov walks away the first star, Barabanov and Shurigan, great showings as well. Just how cool is that to see as a head coach, to see those guys step up on that massive stage with a lot of NHL scouts in the building?
Well, you're proud. Like, you don't want your guys to go there and struggle or look at a place, but all the stuff we talk about, like the universal skills of being a good player at any level, I thought they did a good job showing. And then obviously, like I thought Kleppy was the best player in the game for both teams. Obviously, he got the star, but Barabanov was elite as well, and Shrugi and net made some real big saves. And even though he let the one in, he made a couple saves after that kept that game from being tied. So I thought real good showing from the Saginaw guys. I think you're just always proud of your guys to go to that stage. And it's no different than Z and Mike at the World Jays, like doing a good job there. Z setting records, like you're proud they had our jersey on. They came from here at one point.
Xander Valeris plays 100 OHL games tonight. You got him at 32 on his career. Just how much have improved and what's changed the most about him as a player here?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I told him this too at the start of the year. I wasn't sure he was going to make our team based on his decision making. I think he's done a real good job in that area, working on it to make better decisions inside of our structure. And then just like when you watch him, he's an NHL player with his skating, his shot, his size, his physicality, like an important player for us for sure. But he's come a long way, and there's been some bumps in the road on it, but he's like a guy that takes accountability and really wants to be a player and works at his craft. And 32 games, he's got a long way to go, but he's on his way.
Lastly, this is a Ranger team up 3 games in the season series they've added here at the deadline. What do you expect to see coming out from these guys in the first period?
Well, I mean, they're chasing top spot in the league now, right? They're trying to chase that down, and also top spot in the Western Conference. So I don't think they're sitting across here looking past us, especially that we just beat Windsor. But they're well coached. They obviously had coach of the year staff last year. They're well coached. They got some big time pieces that people in the league, like the Schrotts and that, might wonder why Mike paid so much. But what Mike understands is, like, to win in this league, he's been there as a coach to conference finals and Game 7. He's been on the bench for those games. Those are the type of guys that drag you through it. So, yeah, they may not be the 50-goal sexy guy, but in terms of what they can do when it comes to winning, they do a great job of it. And they got O'Reilly and they got Woolley, and we'll have our hands full, but it's great because we have to make these guys defend. We have to make these guys adapt to our structure. And if we do that, like, it's going to be a game, and it's exactly what we're hoping for.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight. That's Chris Laswey, Saginaw in Kitchener, taking on the Rangers. Back after this in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. As a business, a roof over your head is just as important as the products you create. At Versatile Flat Roofing, our membrane roofs have provided safety and security to businesses in the Great Lakes Bay region for over 10 years. Our quality of production in low-sloped flat roofing systems made Versatile Flat Roofing the 2024 Michigan Elite Contractor of the Year. With more than 1,500 roofs installed and 75% of clients coming from repeats and referrals, customer satisfaction is at the heart of the job. For more information on keeping the roof over your head safe and secure, visit VersatileFlatRoofing.com today. That's VersatileFlatRoofing.com.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Saginaw's Nikita Klepov, Igor Barabanov, and Stepan Shurigan are fresh off an appearance at the OHL Top Prospects game, filled to the brim with NHL scouts. Well, tonight's game in Kitchener from the Memorial Auditorium will be a similar atmosphere. But the reason is, on the other side of it, the Kitchener Rangers have the highest number of NHL drafted players, 12 on their roster in the Ontario Hockey League this season. So that means a tall order for the Saginaw Spirit tonight. Hi, everybody. My name's Dylan Clark. Thanks so much for being with us here for the last time from Kitchener this season. The Spirit looking to avoid the season sweep. On the other hand, from the Kitchener Rangers, Kitchener's won all three victories, most recently a 5-4 shootout win in Saginaw back on December the 13th. And Kitchener is, right now, the second-place team in the Western Conference, 54 points on the season, and they have points in 4 consecutive hockey games. The Spirit have handled the best in the West recently, though, a 3-2 overtime win, as Jonathan said earlier in the pregame. Their most recent victory, they had to gut that one out. They needed a little bit of luck to do it as well. The Spirit would like to get the goal scoring started tonight a little bit earlier than the third period. We'll take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's game. Brought to you by Saginaw Valley State University, your community-engaged university in the Great Lakes Bay region. And some of those NHL drafted players will start out for the Kitchener Rangers. Christian Humphreys, 7th-round pick of the Colorado Avalanche. He starts on the left side. On the right will be Jack Pridham, 3rd-rounder to the Chicago Blackhawks. And at center, the former London Knight. It will be Sam O'Reilly, the Tampa Bay Lightning prospect. On the back end, their captain, Cameron Reed, 1st-rounder to the Nashville Predators. And he's joined by Carson Campbell, a free agent as far as the National Hockey League is concerned. And on the Spirit side of things, Dima Zhilkin with Igor Barabanov and Nikita Klepov. Klepov fresh off a player of the game performance at the Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game. James Go and Levi Harper will start on the back end for their head coach, Chris Lazary, here for the Saginaw Spirit. Saginaw and Kitchener for the fourth and final time in the regular season. Who knows what will happen when the postseason comes around, but this is the last confirmed meeting, and Saginaw, again, wants to avoid what would be the first season sweep at the hands of the Kitchener Rangers, the first one since 2018. Before we get to puck drop, back to Jonathan in the studio for a look at your out-of-town scores.
Thank you very much, Dylan. Out-of-town scores this evening brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Some exciting matchups in the OHL and beyond. We'll get to that in just a second. The Brantford Bulldogs hosting the Peterborough Petes. The Windsor Spitfires visit the Erie Otters. Visiting from the QMJHL, the Gatineau Olympiques visiting the Ottawa 67s here tonight. Some interleague play going on. The North Bay Battalion visit the Oshawa Generals. In Sudbury, the Wolves host the Flint Firebirds. The London Knights take on the Sarnia Sting. The Kingston Frontenacs host the Brampton Steelheads, and the Sioux Greyhounds are visiting the Guelph Storm. All of those games set to get underway in just moments from now. In NHL action, the San Jose Sharks visiting the Detroit Red Wings. That lineup including Michael Misa and Igor Chernyshov as the Sharks visit the Red Wings. We'll have updates on that game and all of these games as the evening moves along. Before we get to that, though, puck drop between the Saginaw Spirit and the Kitchener Rangers coming up on the other side of this break here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Get it all at Garber Chevrolet Saginaw. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall experience. Our expert technicians are factory trained to the highest standards, keeping your vehicle in top condition. And we have everything for your automotive needs, even tires. Get to Garber Chevy Saginaw today and see how you get it all at Garber. Gratiot Road, Saginaw. Online, GarberChevroletSaginaw.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
So, we're finally ready to plan for retirement, but who do we trust?
Our friends at TriStar Trust. They've been here for 25 years right here in our community, and they'll be here for the next 25.
That's the kind of team I want in my corner.
TriStar Trust helps you plan your retirement, manage your investments, and build the future you've been dreaming of. Because when it comes to your goals, it's your time to shine. Visit TriStarTrust.com.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
We're Duralast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Duralast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Duralast, the world's best roof.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Kathy Taffel to create your personal price plan today.
Your active life depends on healthy muscles, bones, and joints. When pain arises, My Michigan Health is your go-to place. Our comprehensive musculoskeletal team offers the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatments and includes experts in specialized orthopedics and sports medicine. Whether your pain originates from your knee, hip, hand, elbow, shoulder, ankle, or foot, our experts can help. With more than 50 providers across 21 locations in central and northern Michigan, we're dedicated to keeping you active. Learn more at mymichigan.org/MSK.
Your WSGW morning team.
A prisoner in Australia claiming that withholding his Vegemite breaches his human right because it stops him from enjoying his culture as an Australian. He is in prison for murder.
Right, yeah.
Life sentence.
Now, believe it or not, in any other country, if you gave a prisoner a Vegemite sandwich,
they'd sue
it
you.
would be cruel and unusual, and you'd
Yes.
get a lawsuit.
What would the response in America be? We would think it would be a lot of people in an uproar, up in arms, saying, frivolous, why is this even in court? In fact, it's going to the Supreme Court in Victoria. It's scheduled for trial next year.
Meantime, he has to suffer without his Vegemite.
I mean, know what you're signing up for before you kill someone.
Well, to their point, you want to continue to eat your Vegemite? You don't go to prison.
Yep.
Exactly right.
What a deterrent.
Keeps it simple.
The Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. Spirit Hockey
Harmer holds it out wide. Centers. Blue Jays scores!
lives
Looking for the stretch pass to Jilkin. He'll pop off the wall and lay down for him. Jilkin scores!
here.
Picked up by Harmer. In with speed. Carson Harmer shoots. He scores! Carson Harmer!
The radio home of your Saginaw Spirit is WSGW 100.5 FM. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. Now it's game time. Live from the rink to your radio. Here is the first period play-by-play with the voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark.
Inside the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium here in Kitchener for the final time this season, the Saginaw Spirit and the Kitchener Rangers. Saginaw hoping to avoid the series sweep against the Rangers before we drop the puck. National anthems here from the Odd. Saginaw and Kitchener for the last time this season. And the Spirit look to maintain the momentum from a thrilling overtime victory last weekend, 3-2 at home over the Windsor Spitfires and the Kitchener Rangers. Here from the odd this year, 14-5-0-1. They are among the best on home ice. We'll take a look at our starting goaltenders for tonight's game, brought to you by NetSource One, the official technology provider of the Saginaw Spirit. It will be the Swiss goaltender Christian Kirsch for the Kitchener Rangers, fourth-round pick of the San Jose Sharks in 2024. Just the fifth Swiss goaltender to play in the Ontario Hockey League, represented Switzerland at this year's World Junior Hockey Championships. 13 wins on the season, 2.58 goals against average, a .900 save percentage, and 1 shutout. And the young man from Russia down at the other end, Stepan Shurigan, fresh off of a 15-save on 16-shot performance at the Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game, and a newly minted ranked goaltender by NHL Central Scouting, makes his debut on the midterm rankings at the number 17 ranked North American goaltender, of course playing in North America. Shurigan out of Samara, Russia, 14 wins on the season, 3.61 goals against average, .891 save percentage. Your officials for tonight's game, brought to you by WNEN TV5, Aaron Neely and Kyle Whiteman, the referees. Owen Bennett and Devin Driscoll will work the lines. The Zhilkin, Barabanov, and Klepov line starts out for Chris Lazary. For Jussi Ahokas, who was behind the bench for Team West in that Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game, he goes with Christian Humphreys, Sam O'Reilly, and Jack Pridham up front. Saginaw in the traveling white uniforms, navy blue and red. The Rangers, the home blues, reminiscent of the NHL, New York Rangers. And Kitchener starts out with possession here in this first period. Our Delta College opening faceoff. Though from their own defensive end, they turn it over to Levi Harper, Saginaw's standout rookie blue liner, to put it back in behind the Kitchener net. Cameron Reed, 21st overall pick by the Nashville Predators in the 2025 NHL draft. He wears the C for these Kitchener Rangers up the near side for O'Reilly, the former London Knight. Intercepted by Levi Harper at the Spirit blue line. The Rangers chop it back in and onto the goal stick of Stepan Shurigan to play it back around. Out the far side, Klepov back to the middle. This is Igor Barabanov. Down into the left wing circle, the Rangers end, drops it back. Levi Harper, top of the zone, right between the dots, lets a shot go. That hit a Ranger on the way through. Harper gets a rough ride. Brody Popoy steps onto the ice. Finds Igor Barabanov in the right wing circle. Backhanded underneath the Ranger goal. There is Klepov. 50 seconds gone here in this first period. Cameron Reed picks it up here for the Rangers. Humphreys dumps it off the boards and out to center. Brody Popoy picks it up at center ice for the Spirit. Moves it up to Levi Harper. Stepped into there. A big-time hit by Reed as he stepped up on the rookie defenseman for the Spirit. Rangers come away with this back in their own end. The pass towards the middle, picked up by Luca Romano. New York Islanders prospect dumps it back in behind Stepan Shurigan. Gabriel Sherratt, former Brampton Steelhead, one of several deadline acquisitions for the Kitchener Rangers, is on it back in the Spirit end. Saginaw gets it back out to center ice. Goes off the wall in front of the Spirit bench. And now Xander Valeris playing his 100th Ontario Hockey League game tonight. Bump to the middle. Ryan Hanrahan into the offensive zone for the Spirit. 88 in white. We'll throw this back in behind the Ranger net, and there's Jared Woolley. Dropped it back. Minute 45 gone here in the first period. Still looking for the first shot on goal for either one of these two hockey teams. Alexander Bilecki puts it onto the stick of Saginaw's Josh Glavin, and the Spirit defenseman trying to get it back out to Bodie Stewart at center. Nobody in white can pick things up. We've got a stoppage in our first penalty call of this hockey game. It'll be slashing. 18:01 left in the first. The penalty box door swings open for the Rangers, and it'll be Jared Woolley to sit down for the first time. And for the first time, the Spirit see the name Woolley. It'll be in the blue of the Kitchener Rangers. Picked up just prior to the deadline with Sam O'Reilly in a trade with the London Knights. He sits for slashing Saginaw to the IBEW Local 557 power play. 8th best in the OHL at 21.8%. They've gone 7 for their last 17. Over the course of the past 5 hockey games, 41.2%. Dimas Zhilkin starts out off the draw. One-time shot by Klepov from the right circle. That goes wide of the near goal post and rims all the way back into the Spirit end. Stepan Shurigan's got to make a quick decision against Jack Pridham, the Rangers' leader with 4 shorthanded goals this year. They get out of danger. Back in. Near side, Harmer fan on the shot from the left circle. This is Klepov to send it back underneath. Carson Harmer below the goal line. 5 forwards on the power play for Chris Lazary. Barabanov, center point. This is Nikita Klepov. Walks it near side. Zhilkin one time, and that goes off a body and wide. Barabanov on the far wall. Left-handed shooting Barabanov. Klepov now near side. Jilkin again. Turns around in the corner now. The Spirit captain dumps a backhanded pass in front. Kluche looking for Harmer. That was taken away. Now this is Pridham. Back up to center for the Rangers. Down the left side. Here's a shorthanded opportunity. They score! It's the Captain Reed. Low past the glove of Stepan Shurigan. 17-12 to go in the first period. The Rangers strike first. It's 1-0. Did not even get to share with you the fact that the Kitchener Rangers have the most shorthanded goals in the Ontario Hockey League. 11 coming into the game now, 12. They had only one opportunity. That is all they needed. As for Cameron Reed, his 10th goal of the season. First point back in the lineup from World Juniors. And Jack Pridham won't get credit on the shorthanded goal, but he'll get the shorthanded assist. 12 shorthanded markers to lead the Ontario Hockey League now for the Kitchener Rangers. Still a minute, 6 seconds on the Jared Woolley penalty for the Spirit. But Kitchener in the driver's seat early here in front of a full building. Levi Harper drops this back for Ryan Hanrahan. Second power play unit on now for the Spirit. This is Jensen Geldart down the right side. Flip back around and up the near sideboards. Can it be held in on the backhand by Levi Harper? Then move to Bodie Stewart, backhanded pass, and a Papoy shot from the right point goes off a body into the corner. Jensen Geldart cut off on the far boards. Rangers get this puck back into the Spirit end. Stepan Shurigan there to stop it. Drop it off where it's picked up by Levi Harper. 4 points shy of Zane Parek's rookie record by Spirit defenseman. 33 points for Harper. It was 37 by Parek 3 seasons ago. 18 seconds left on the Spirit power play. They trail 1-0 after the shorthanded goal. This is back down the right side. They'll be stopped up just inside the Ranger line. A bouncing puck right between the dots is knocked back out to center. Brody Papoy drops it back. Drew Roscoe. Long pass up for Levi Harper up the far wall. That's cut off, and out of the box is Woolley. The Rangers kill it off, and they lead 1-0 here after that penalty. Uri Rauja out of the defensive zone here for the Spirit. That pass gets broken up. The laid offside here against the Rangers. They'll take back over at neutral ice and fire it back in. Dylan Edwards, the former Erie Otter, gets his first steps onto the ice here for the Rangers in this game. Now it'll be picked up and moved towards the middle. Cameron Arquette on the backhand, chases it down back in the corner where it's tapped along, and Saginaw's Levi Harper takes a dig into the ice, and he goes down. Rangers trying to take over. Arquette into the skates of Hayden Ellis now. He doubles back up to the left point. Here's a chance down to the goal line. That one settled down by Tanner Lamb. Back up top, thrown near side. Campbell, a long shot. That one's deflected. Stepan Shurigan, not sure where it was. That one cut off back and behind the Spirit net. Over for Uri Rauja. 15-11 to go. 1-0 Rangers here in the first period. Awkward collision down in the corner as Rauja, check that. It'll be Sawyer Schmidt goes in awkwardly into the boards. He's got to go back to the Spirit bench. They will clear and get a line change here. Rangers from back behind their own net. Jared Woolley, LA Kings prospect, one of 12 on the roster, 11 in the game for Kitchener, as Luke Ellenis, the Ottawa Senators prospect, has been held out with an upper body injury for the majority of this season. Rangers move this back in. Behind the net of Shurigan. First man to it, Saginaw's Graydon Jones. Klepov towards the middle. Saginaw gets out of the defensive zone. Barabanov over the right side. Blake Barnes, a little fumble on the far boards, but they keep it alive thanks to Dima Zhilkin. Turned back down by Barnes. It hops over the stick of Barabanov, and it's Jared Woolley for the Rangers. Back up the boards. Lachar can't keep it in. Turning shot by Zhilkin sent wide. And off the corner boards, kept alive by Graydon Jones. Gets a bump there from Weston Cameron. It goes back in behind the Ranger net. Lachar, the bump towards the middle, intercepted by Saginaw's Klepov. Rangers jam it off the wall and out to center. 6 minutes gone in the first period. 1-0 Kitchener thanks to a shorthanded goal. This is back in behind the net of Shurigan. 2 quick passes onto the tape of Dima Zhilkin now. Saginaw tries to fly the zone. Backhanded pass between the legs of Klepov. He's got it into the right circle. Put back in front. They score! A friendly bounce off a Ranger. Klepov backhanded it there. 13:52 to go in the period. The Spirit have tied the game at 1. Well, and the Saginaw goal song rings down here inside the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. That's a new one. 24th of the season, maybe a positive omen for the Spirit. 24 goals this year for the 16th ranked North American skater in Nikita Klepov. Just a backhanded play towards the net Jilkin tossed that from out of Saginaw's own end, off the wall. Klepov's able to handle it, and this is an icing call against the Rangers off the ensuing faceoff. Hard to tell what Ranger it goes off of in front of the Kitchener net, but it ends up leaking through the goaltender Christian Kirsch, and both teams have scored on their first shots of the hockey game. 13:47 to go. First period here. 1-1 between the Spirit and the Rangers. We're back in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Chevrolet in Linwood. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience that will keep you coming back. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see us. Get a better overall experience and lease for less in Linwood. Garber Chevrolet Linwood, M13, north of Bay City. Online, garberlinwood.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Carson Armour, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Early action here from the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. 13:47 left in the opening frame. A shorthanded goal from Cameron Reed, and an even strength goal from Nikita Klepov, both on Saginaw and Kitchener's first shots of the hockey game. Some fortunate bounces have gotten us into this one. The Rangers have scored the first goal 24, now 25 times. That was tied for second most. They take sole possession of second most in the Ontario Hockey League this season. Only the Windsor Spitfires with 29 first goals have more. Kitchener this season 13-6-1-1 when they find the back of the net first, as they've done tonight. We'll have to redrop this face-off on the right wing circle of the Saginaw offensive zone. Jensen Geldart between Bodie Stewart. And on the left side, Ryan Hanrahan. And off the face-off in the Rangers' end, Kitchener's got it. Outlet pass deflected by Jensen Geldart. Out of his net to play it, step on Shurigan. Quick flip to the near boards. Levi Harper gets it out of danger. McNeil can't turn that out in the neutral zone here for Kitchener, so it's James Go off the boards. Picked up, pocket pick though, Bodie Stewart. This one on the counterattack. Humphreys can't drop this off. Now the return for Pridham, swept to the net. Pad saved by Shurigan. The rebound chance knocked down in front of the goal, knocked to the far boards. Picked up by Levi Harper, flipped out to center. Jensen Geldart with Hanrahan breaking towards the net. The late man Harper couldn't handle the pass. It was just behind him from Geldart. So back out to center ice. The Rangers push things into the Spirit end. McNeil gets there first against Levi Harper, goes awkwardly into the boards, and a penalty's upcoming against the Saginaw defenseman Harper. 7 minutes gone exactly here in this first period, and a first Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill here for the Spirit. Harper not protesting much, though it looked like a case of just an awkward wrap-up. Heading into the boards. Cross-checking call. Harper, just some pressure. Low around the hips of McNeil. He goes awkwardly into the board, so it's a cross-checking penalty against the Saginaw defenseman. Ranger power play 22.2% on the season. Stormmaster Exteriors PK here for the Spirit. Lamb back to the top of the zone. Bilecki working this second Ranger power play unit. Lamb into the right circle. Pocket picked by Xander Valeris. He gets it out to center ice. Luca Romano has to track back into Ranger real estate. Bilecki, Romano, Lamb, Gabriel Sherratt out on this power play here for the Rangers. Hayden Ellis as well, as they're rejected at the Spirit blue line for a second time. Saginaw clears the zone. They get some fresh penalty killers out. Bodie Stewart, Dimas Jilkin join Josh Glavin and Xander Valeris as the Rangers start out from in their own territory. Saginaw penalty kill, 16th in the OHL at 76% coming into tonight's game. Romano over the offensive blue line for the Rangers. Back at the point, this is Bilecki now near side. Sam O'Reilly's the top power play unit, comes out here for Kitchener. Left circle, shot gets blocked there by a sliding Josh Glavin. Hayden Ellis in the left wing corner for the Rangers. Looking towards the middle. Glavin gives him a rough ride. Kept by Bilecki, now near side Lamb. Bump towards the middle. Now the chance there for Ellis sent wide in between the dots. Back behind the Spirit net. Xander Valeris does not have any hesitation there. He gets it down the length of the ice. 4 fresh penalty killers for the Saginaw Spirit as Christian Kirsch drops it off back and behind the Ranger goal. Top power play unit comes out here for UC Ahokas. 35 seconds left on the penalty to Levi Harper. Humphreys in. Drops for Reed. Right circle. Give and go back with O'Reilly down to the goal line on the far side. Pridham goes back up high. Now near side, Humphreys waits in the circle. Gets the seam pass. It's off the skate of a Ranger. And back out to center ice where Reed takes back over. 11:15 in the first period, tied at 1. Pridham back over the offensive blue line for Kitchener. Humphreys stops up in front of Igor Barabanov and sends it back underneath the Spirit goal line. At the left point, back to the near side. Humphreys shot, glove down by Stepan Shurigan for a faceoff. 3 seconds left, and Levi Harper will be released. Stepan Shurigan, the OHL leader with 1,000 saves, 2,027 minutes coming into this game. Nobody in the league had more. And again, 15 saves at the top prospects game. He's won 6 out of his last 7 starts with a .912 save percentage in that span. And he is one of the biggest reasons why Saginaw picked up not just a win, but even a point at all against the Windsor Spitfires in their last game. A point shot goes off the cuff of Shurigan's glove. Back at even strength, and the rebound chance goes wide as Harper's back on the ice. No shorthanded goal for the Spirit, but they survived the penalty. As this puck is back out at center, Jacob Kluche trying to pick the pocket of Cameron Reed. Kluche turns things into the Ranger zone. Carson Campbell back in the Kitchener end, turns it up the near side boards for Cameron Arquette. Carson Harmer running a bit of interference in the offensive zone for the Spirit. Kluche drops it off for Barnes now. Saginaw defender into the left wing circle, then back up high for Kluche. Rips a shot off a Ranger. This one knocked back out by Kitchener to center ice. Arquette puts it in front. It'll trickle back in on Stepan Shurigan. A little bit of a bobble there, but he hangs on with that left catching glove for a face-off with 10:19 left in the opening frame. Liam Storch is the lone injury for the Saginaw Spirit in today's contest, an upper body injury. He's back in Saginaw. Brody Najim took warm-ups as the extra forward. He ends up being the healthy scratch. Uri Rauja is in tonight for Saginaw. The Rangers, without their defenseman, Matt Andonovski, overage player just returning from a stint with the Belleville Senators. He's serving a 2-game suspension for a check to the head against the Oshawa Generals. He'll be eligible to return in Kitchener's next game on Sunday against the Guelph Storm. Saginaw wins a defensive zone faceoff. This is flipped back into the Rangers' end. No icing. Just approaching the midway point of the first period, 1-1 on goals by Reed and Nikita Klepov. Rangers clear this one down for an icing. Avery Anstis, Luke Ellis, Caden Schneider, and Jack LaBrash, the other scratches for the Kitchener Rangers. Again, Luke Ellis hasn't played a game. 4th-round pick by the Ottawa Senators in 2024. Hasn't played a game since November the 21st. Out with a shoulder injury. But this is a Ranger team that's gone all in. Again, the original plan was to go for the Memorial Cup next year, bid to host. They don't win the bid. Guelph gets it, so the Rangers push all the chips to the middle here in 2026. They clear this puck again after a defensive zone faceoff. This time no icing. It's Graydon Jones to pick it up for the Spirit. Bounce pass off the wall. Vermeulen there, intercepts alone in front. Good poke check there by Stepan Shurigan. Could have been an easy chance on the doorstep for Weston Cameron. Puck back in the near corner of the Spirit end. Matthew Lachar races against Blake Barnes. Cross-ice pass goes off a Ranger stick to the near side. Weston Cameron chops it underneath the Spirit net. Lachar back in behind the Saginaw goal. Blake Barnes is after him. Saginaw's got the top line up against the 4th line for the Rangers, but they're pinned back in their own defensive end. This is now Jones for Saginaw up off the stick of Dima Zhilkin. Cut off by Alexander Bilecki, Ranger defenseman, ranked 38 on NHL Central Scouting's list of North American skaters. Back up to Jack Pridham now. Rangers lay it back ahead. Over the stick of Alexander Bilecki. Back into the Spirit zone they go. Far side corner with 9 minutes left in a 1-1 game. The first period of a 1-1 game, to be a little bit more specific. Puck on the far wall. Nikita Klepov takes it up now for the Spirit. Dima Zhilkin rips it back in from center. Around to pick things up, Levi Harper, hit by Max DiRiccolo, back in behind the Ranger goal. Now Bilecki giving Klepov a rough ride. Rangers see Sam O'Reilly there, top line center now, back into the defensive zone. Outlet pass is intercepted by Klepov at center. At the red line, knocked down onto the tape of Uri Rauja out of Zvolen, Slovakia. First time the Spirit have 3 European players in one season. Has a couple of big-time collisions. James Go stepped up on a Ranger, then Sawyer Schmidt got a hit. This is back in the left wing corner, offensive end for Saginaw. Levi Harper Back at the left point, James Go steps into a shot, saved made by Kirsch, rebound, they score! Uri Rauja, first OHL goal off the end wall, 2-1 Spirit with 8:11 to go in the first period. Well, we just talked about him. 21 games in the Ontario Hockey League, and it's the first goal for Uri Rauja. Right place, right time. James Go does not hesitate. He steps into a slap shot from the left point, off some bodies, off the wall. And a bit of a slower start, but there is the first in what is hoped to be many for Uri Rauja. 2-1 Spirit here, just about 12 minutes gone in the first period. Just 2 shots on goal as this goes down for an icing. They'll rule the James Go shot did not get to the Ranger net. So the shooting percentage here for the Spirit, they've made the most of their opportunities, to say the least. It all depends on how you look at it here. You played almost 12 minutes of hockey and managed 2 shots. Not ideal. But you've got a 2-1 lead here in a very hostile building. The Rangers, again, 14-5-0-1 from this building this season. And Saginaw's road struggles have continued as of late. Just 1 win in their last 6 road games, and that dates all the way back to December the 28th. A win against the Sioux Greyhounds as the Rangers get things back out into Spirit real estate from the defensive zone. Back at center ice. Luca Romano tries to tie up a couple of Spirit players. This is settled down by McNeil. 6th rounder to the Montreal Canadiens. Spills into the offensive zone for the Rangers. Hangs onto the puck and puts it down into the near side corner. Braden Jones there to cut things off for Saginaw. Up around to the far side wall. This is pushed off of Dylan Edwards. Pushed back down by Romano. Into the left wing corner. Gabriel Sherratt stations there against Jones and Jensen Geldot. Romano comes in for the Rangers to try and help the numbers out, while 6'7" Drew Roscoe fishes in with that stick. Pass in front. Knocked down by Stepan Shurigan. Rescued by Roscoe. Back in behind the net now. Turn it up the wall. Saginaw's got to get out of the defensive zone here. And a stretch pass off the board. It's going to be picked up by Ryan Hanrahan. In the left wing circle. Rangers end. Cuts back. Settles the bouncing puck down. Tosses a pass onto the far wall. Up high now. That's Xander Valeris. Pushes back in behind the Ranger net. Klepov is there. Out of the right wing corner. Up high. Skate to stick Valeris. Fumbled it. Back up high. Away from the stick check of Josh Glavin. Races for a hit there against Tanner Lamb in the neutral zone. 6:51 to go. 2-1 Spirit as the back leg of Klepov trying to stretch to stay alive and avoid the offside call. They can't do it. Face off to come just outside the offensive zone here for the Spirit. 6:47 to go in this first period. Zhilkin and Barabanov have picked up the assists on the Klepov goal. A familiar story. James Go and Levi Harper pick up assists. Also a familiar story. But on the first OHL goal for Uri Rauja, again playing with HKM Zvolin, both the U20 club as a 16-year-old to start the year. Rauja just turned 17 on October the 3rd, and with the top pro program as well in the Slovakian Pro League with Zvolin. This is angled back in behind the net of Christian Kirsch. And the Rangers look to move up ice again. 6.5 to go in the first period. Klepov forces an offensive zone turnover, knocked down by Ellis. Down the left side. Klepov can't pull it off the wall. Cameron Reed in danger there. Gets out past Dima Zhilkin, though, and Lamb throws this up to center ice. It's Ellis again. Tries to split the Spirit defense. Got turned around and locked up with Josh Glavin. So Shurigan pushes it to the far boards. This is Hayden Ellis again. 8th round pick by the Rangers in 2023. Punked ahead by Nikita Klepov in a foot race with Woolley into the Rangers' end. He gets closed off, though. Jared Woolley, 6'5", 215, uses that frame to his advantage more often than not. He's going to stride this puck back into the offensive zone, trying to lead the charge for the Kitchener Rangers. Back in behind the Spirit net. This is back up high now. Cameron Arquette in the offensive zone. Floats a shot to the net, blocked on its way through. Rangers keep it alive. Pilecki. Skate the stick and pushed into the near side corner. Taken into the boards by James Go is Tanner Lamb. Puck reverses up the near side wall. Dima Zhilkin doubles back, takes a hit, and moves across ice for Levi Harper in the neutral zone. 1 assist closer to Zane Parekh. 34 points now for Harper. Carson Harmer from the right point of the Rangers' end just puts it back down to the goal line. Brody Popoy trying to force the issue. The Rangers flip it back out to center ice, and they'll steal, but offside. As Lachar got in ahead of the Ranger play. 5:14 left in this first period. 2 shots for the Spirit. They've both found the back of the net. 2-1 Saginaw. Back in a moment on 100.5 FM WSGW.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about, questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Ryan Coe to create your personal price plan today.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
A 2-1 lead for the Saginaw Spirit here in Kitchener. The fewest amount of shots they've managed in a first period this season, 3. They've done it 3 times. November 21st against Windsor, January 9th and January 10th against Flint and Windsor, respectively. 5:14 left in the first. Saginaw's only got 2 shots is the reason we bring that up here in this first period against the Kitchener Rangers, but they do have a 2-1 lead thanks to goals from Nikita Klepov in the first, the OHL career of Uri Rauja. So not a bad start, or not a bad recovery for the Spirit after they surrender a shorthanded goal on the first shot of the game to the Ranger captain Cameron Reed. This faceoff is in the neutral zone, outside the Spirit end. And there is some extra instruction being given by referee Aaron Neely to Matthew Lachar and now Carson Harmer. As the fourth line for UC Ahokus' Rangers is out against the second of Chris Lazary's Spirit. Saginaw wins the neutral zone draw. It goes back in their own end, and Lachar is giving Blake Barnes a rough ride right now. He needs some help from Graydon Jones. Turned up the far wall for Carson Harmer. Moved there to Jacob Pluche up the far side wall. Weston Cameron came in looking for the hit there. Jones on the near side. This goes back in behind the Ranger goal and around the wall again. Carson Harmer braces for a heavy check as the Rangers look to get back into this first period. They look to do it the physical way. Another big-time collision in the corners. Diricolo lined up one of the Spirit players. It was Kluche. Kitchener on the counterattack. They hit the late man into the offensive zone. This looks to be Diricolo. Drops it back, and a point shot ricochets wide. Ends up back in front off the end wall. And a follow-up chance off the post. Cleared out of the paint by Graydon Jones and out of play. A tense moment. 4:26 left in the first. Jacob Kluche shakes off that hit. A long point shot deflected off the end wall behind Spirit netminder Stepan Shurigan. Rebound chance goes off the goalpost from a very tight angle and was sitting right in the paint. Graydon Jones gets it out. Jones, the left shot, just fired it on his forehand in between Stepan Shurigan and the goalpost. Saginaw lucky that Shurigan was where he was in the blue paint and not any closer to the goal line. That would have gone off the backside and in. 4:26 left in the first period. Stays a 2-1 Spirit lead here. Though lucky to be so after that most recent exchange. Igor Barabanov will now get waved out of the faceoff after Sam O'Reilly was waved out for the Kitchener Rangers. So Dima Zhilkin to take the draw against Christian Humphreys. And Zhilkin wins it. Up the near side, the pass into the skates of Barabanov. That'll cost Saginaw's zone exit. 2 against 2 on the near side wall. Puck pulled towards the middle by Pridham, but stolen back by Klepov. Humphreys has it again for Kitchener, but then it's back onto the stick of Klepov. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone. Zhilkin can't risk that puck into the offensive zone. Taken by Humphreys now. Backhands it out. Off the left side, picked up with speed. Here's Reed with 1 goal already. Tries the wraparound. He was knocked wide there by Xander Valeris. Back at the right point. Campbell, the rising shot. That deflects up and out of play again. Saginaw, a close call with now 3:52 remaining in this first period. Stays a 2-1 hockey game. Cameron Reed, a problem for sure for Saginaw in this game. He was on a 4-game scoring streak before departing for the World Juniors. 8 points in those 4 games. Just 1 assist with the Team Canada effort at World Juniors this year. But he's got the first goal in this game for the Rangers, and looked like he would have had a wraparound tally there had it not been for the late hit from Xander Valeris, or the last-minute hit from Xander Valeris. So Saginaw gets this out of the defensive zone here. 3:44 to go in the first period. They lead it 2-1. Rangers start out from behind their own net. Carson Campbell. Cross-ice pass, fumbled on the far wall by Humphreys. So the Rangers just dump it back in, and onto the tape of James Go. Turned it over, though. Humphreys at the Spirit blue line there for Pridham now. Right circle. Takes a shot. Pad save. Stewart in the rebound handled by Bodie Stewart. Now at the far wall. Rangers turn it back over, though. Humphreys along the wall. Away from Stewart there. The check will freeze him for a moment. Trying to pass it back up to the left point in Cameron Reed. But that clears the zone. Back to Ranger real estate again. Campbell now. Back up to center ice. Fakes the drop-off. Skates it in himself. Then sends it back, and now cross ice for Sam O'Reilly. Long shot. Blocker saves Schuergen. The rebound chopped to the near wall. O'Reilly keeps it alive, and that one off Saginaw's Levi Harper. James Go puts it off the wall, just too far for Sawyer Schmidt. So the Rangers pump it back in behind Stepan Schuergen again. 2:45 to go in the first period. Saginaw trying to protect a 2-1 lead. They're outshot 7-2 in this game. And now they've iced the puck. Shots on goal brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters. And again, Saginaw has just managed 2 shots in this game, the fewest 3. And they've done that on 3 separate occasions this season. Although in any of those games, November 21st, January 9th, or January 10th, I don't believe they were able to take a lead into the dressing room. Saginaw 5-3 since the holiday break here. Dropped their first 2 games last weekend. Home ice against the Kingston Frontenacs. A 4-2 road battle against the Flint Firebirds, but the overtime thriller against the Windsor Spitfires looks to give them momentum here. They shut down the Rangers after losing a defensive zone faceoff with the bouncing puck. Cannot be gotten out to center. Fumbled there by Jared Woolley, but back into the Spirit end. Along the near board, the return pass. Woolley, nice move. Alone against the goaltender, sends a backhanded shot wide. 6'5", but the defenseman's got some mitts on him. Saginaw gets this puck out of danger for the moment. Sawyer Schmidt, the former Buffalo Junior Sabre. Back in behind the goal now of Christian Kirsch. Swiss goaltender gets it up the far wall here for the Rangers. Off the skate of Drew Roscoe. Jensen Geldart gets to it for the Spirit. Gets knocked on his wallet. Jilkin is there. Jilkin is offside. Well, it's Ryan Hanrahan who's offside for the Spirit. He was ahead of the play while Jilkin had the puck. 2:02 left in this first period. Neutral zone face-off just outside the Ranger blue line. And again, the Spirit looking to avoid a series sweep at the hands of the Kitchener Rangers. For the first time since 2017-2018, they trail 3-0. This puck back out at neutral ice. The Rangers turn things into the Spirit end. Jensen Geldart up the far wall. A bouncer out of the corner. This is O'Reilly down below the net of Schuergen. On his backhand, Sam O'Reilly turns it into the corner, then laid off the wall again. Saginaw's Graydon Jones is there, away from Tanner Lamb. Gets it up to Dimas Jilkin, turns around, shrugs off a big-time check, and throws this one back in behind the Ranger net. Cameron Arquette tried to hit Jilkin, but Arquette got the worst of it. Now Jilkin's got it, left corner offensive end. Jilkin hauled down there by McNeil. Play continues. McNeil immediately put his hand up as if to say not guilty. Puck continues around the far side wall as Carson Harmer gets it up to Drew Roscoe. Turn back in behind the Ranger net. Jilkin is there. Brody Popoy hits Max DiRiccolo on the far wall, the Rangers' end. This one's kept alive by Carson Harmer. Final 60 seconds of the period. That puck did come out over the back edge of the line. Saginaw offside with 59.4 left in this first period. Great work by Dimas Jilkin to keep that thing alive. 4-game scoring streak has now been turned into 5 after he picks up the assist on the Klepov goal. 7 points now in his last 5 hockey games for Dimas Jilkin. 38 points, and again, a late birth year in 2008. So not NHL draft eligible until next season. But all of the draft prognosticators already have Jilkin as a very likely first-round NHL pick come the summer of 2027. Fitting as he's the 27th captain here in Spirit hockey history. Puck back out at center ice. Rangers shut down at the neutral line by Xander Valeris. Josh Glavin moves it to Carson Harmer. Trying to throw that one off Brody Popoy. Look out. Rangers going to steal. Down the left side. Here's a chance and a shot right into the glove. Stepan Schuergen able to snare that chance from guess who? Cameron Reed, who's had more chances than most of the Kitchener Rangers in this game so far. Officially credited with just 2 shots now. But he's had that similar look from the left wing circle on a number of occasions. 35.8 left in the first period. Faceoff comes to the right of Schuergen. Rangers win it. Back to the point. Campbell fires it back around. Brody Papoy is there for the Spirit. Jams it well up into the air off the glass. Knocked back down. Vermeulen will turn things back into the Spirit end. There's Stepan Shurigan to play it. A little backhanded scoop. Lachar cuts off Xander Valera. 17 to go in the period. Puck high into the air. Glove down by Cloutier. Handled by Brody Papoy. Flips it near side. Carson Harmer into his skates, then to his stick. Down the near side wall against Carson Campbell. 5 seconds left to jam up in the near corner of the Rangers' end. James Go can't get a shot off, and that's it for the first period. So the fewest amount of shots on goal in a first period all year for the Saginaw Spirit. They're outshot 8-2 after 20 minutes. That being said, Nikita Klepov and Uri Rauja have them up to a 2-1 lead. An interesting first 20 minutes here from the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. We'll take a break. Cameron Reed has the lone goal for the Kitchener Rangers. We'll be back to break down that first in a moment. Here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at garberchesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
It's time for your intermission report. In the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, here is Jonathan Dent.
Sometimes it's the quality that matters over the quantity, and that's the case here for the Saginaw Spirit. After 20 minutes of play, despite being outshot 8-2, Saginaw up 2-1 over the Kitchener Rangers. Let's take a look back at that first period, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. Only a couple minutes into this one, Jared Woolley takes a slashing penalty, giving Saginaw their first power play of the evening. The Spirit set up some nice chances in the Kitchener end, but they can't really get anything towards the net, and the Rangers break out. Jack Pridham sends Cameron Reed down the ice. He sends it below the glove on Shurigan on the Rangers' first shot of the evening to take a 1-0 lead.
That was taken away, and now this is Pridham. Back up to center for the Rangers. Down the left side. Here's a shorthanded opportunity. They score! It's the captain, Reed. Low past the glove of Stepan Shurigan. 17-12 to go in the first period. The Rangers strike first.
6 minutes, 7 seconds in, though. The Spirit respond on their first shot of the night. Dima Zhilkin gives a pass to Nikita Klepov at the Kitchener blue line along the right side. He drives to the net and sends it in off a Rangers skate to tie things up. Secondary assist to Igor Barbanov.
Two quick passes onto the tape of Dima Zhilkin now. Saginaw tries to fly the zone. Backhanded pass between the legs of Klepov. He's got it into the right circle. Put back in front. They score! A friendly bounce off a Ranger. Klepov backhanded it there. 13:52 to go in the period. The Spirit have tied the game at 1.
6 minutes, 7 seconds. Your Herman Hissen Company time of the goal on that one. a few seconds later, well, less than a minute later, Saginaw goes to the penalty kill. Levi Harper sitting for cross-checking. Some good clearing, puts most of it away. Stefan Shurigan closes it out with a sharp save. The Rangers kept up the pressure in the Spirit end through a couple Spirit breakouts. Andrew Vermeulen feeds Weston Cameron on the doorstep, but Shurigan breaks it up nicely before he can get a shot away.
No icing. It's Graydon Jones to pick it up for the Spirit. Bounce pass off the wall. Vermeulen there, intercepts alone in front. Good poke check there by Stefan Shurigan. Could have been an easy chance on the doorstep for Weston Cameron.
Saginaw gets one of those breakouts into the offensive end. A shot by James Go is deflected wide by a body, but Uri Rauja is the first to find the rebound, and he puts it home for his first OHL career goal on only the Spirit's second shot of the night.
This is back in the left wing corner, offensive end for Saginaw. Levi Harper back at the left point. James Go steps into a shot. Save made by Kirsch. Rebound, they score! Uri Rauja, first OHL goal off the end wall. 2-1 Spirit with 8:11 to go in the first period.
Yes, 11 minutes, 49 seconds, your Herman Hisson Company time of the goal there. Levi Harper picking up the secondary assist. A nice defensive play a little bit after that. A Rangers shot off the iron lays down right in Shurigan's crease, and Graydon Jones bats it out of harm's way behind his goaltender's back.
Kitchener on the counterattack. They hit the late man into the offensive zone. This looks to be DiRiccolo. Drops it back, and a point shot ricochets wide. Ends up back in front off the end wall. And a follow-up chance off the post. Cleared out of the paint by Graydon Jones and out of play.
The Rangers found a couple more chances on net to close out the period, but 2-1 the score remains after 20 minutes of play. Shots on goal, Kitchener 8, Saginaw 2. Neither team cashing in on the power play. Worth mentioning here, face-off wins. Kitchener is dominant right now in the dot, 14-5 in face-offs. Cameron Reed started the scoring for Kitchener, assisted by Jack Pridham. Short-handed, then Nikita Klepov, his 24th of the season, assisted by Zhilkin and Barabanov, ties it up. And Uri Rauja scores his first in the OHL, assisted by Go and Harper, to take the lead. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring Dylan into the conversation right here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails, or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season, and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Mike Miner to create your personal price plan today.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Caro, Croswell, and Seaboing factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Welcome back. After one period of play, the Saginaw Spirit leading the Kitchener Rangers 2-1 as we bring in from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth, Dylan Clark. Now, Dylan, I started off the last segment by saying sometimes it's quality, not quantity, but I do want to talk a little bit about that first goal from Nikita Klepov. A really nice play by him, but the fact that it ended up in the back of the net, kind of a fluke. What have you seen from him here?
Yeah, no, John, I'd agree with you, but you factor in, or you take into consideration the performance that he just had at the OHL Top Prospects game. 3 points, player of the game. Where he's at this point in the season, he's Saginaw's first 50-point guy. He's feeling confident right now. He's making plays. He's always looking to create, and he's been able to do it. The confidence is at an all-time high. And again, that was a lucky goal. You get a fortunate bounce off of a Ranger defender. Let's not make any mistakes about that. But, he's making a backhanded pass across the ice there that some players would not have tried to make. So Klepov always looking to create, and, that's always good for the Spirit. That's never going to be a bad thing. And again, I don't mean to interrupt myself, but we hear
I'm noticing that too. Yeah.
I wanted to answer someone for the second time inside the odd here tonight. We heard it on the first Spirit goal, which was strange. Anyway, maybe a good omen. It was Klepov who scored that goal and brought the song around, like he's done at the Dow Event Center probably a dozen times. But the point is, he's looking to create when he's at his most confident. That kind of trickles down throughout everybody else on the team.
Talk about confident as well in the Spirit net. Stepan Shurigan standing tall there through the first period. Kitchener had some great chances there, and Shurigan able to keep his cool and keep him out.
He gets a little bit of luck from the goalpost in behind him.
Yeah.
But, that probably his best play or his best save of that first period wasn't even a save. It was the poke check on Weston Cameron in front. He was all alone right in the blue paint, a little bit of a D-zone breakdown. I mean, again, the Spirit have a lot of youngsters. They've got a lot of guys under 100 games in the Ontario Hockey League on their blue line in this game and for the rest of the season. There are going to be breakdowns. This is a Spirit team they're a high-event hockey team. They're going to give up a lot of defensive zone chances. They're going to need Stepan Shurigan to be a top 5 goaltender in the OHL, which from a skill, the numbers aren't going to look at, or the numbers aren't going to show it. But from a skill standpoint, people that have watched Shurigan this year, they know that he is. He is a top 5 goaltender in the Ontario Hockey League. And he just makes that perfect read there, the little poke check away from Weston Cameron. Rangers could have tied the game up on that play. Instead, little heads-up play. And he, with another great performance, just like Klepov at the Top Prospects game, he's getting that attention now from NHL Central Scouting that he, deserved earlier in the season and hadn't gotten. And that just leads to better and better play. And like we said, 6 out of his 7, 6 wins in his last 7 starts coming into tonight. 912 save percentage in that span. That's far above league average.
For sure. And I think you said it best. The numbers aren't going to say it. That's probably why he got looked over a couple times, was the numbers really don't show it, but he is that valuable. We don't have a whole lot of time here, but some numbers I do want to touch on here. I touched on it a little bit earlier. The face-off wins. Kitchener 14, Saginaw 5 through that first 20 minutes. Who's taking those draws? Who's winning those draws?
Well, for the Rangers, who's winning them is Sam O'Reilly. And again, one of the premier face-off guys in the entire in the Ontario Hockey League. 5 for 7 in this game so far. Luca Romano, 5 for 5. Can't do much better than that. That's got to change, though, for the Spirit. You look at guys like Carson Harmon. You look at Igor Barabanov, 1 for 6 and 2 for 3 in the dot. Harmer's Saginaw's best guy, around 53% to this point in the season. These are the games where you miss Sebastian Gervais, though, right around that 55, 56 mark. You don't have that at their disposal anymore. So guys like Harmer, guys like Barabanov, they got to step up in a big way. Dima Zilkin's probably going to come in and take some draws. Jensen Geldart's 0 for 7. And this is a young hockey player playing center in the big boy league for the first time here. Again, this is just OHL game number 19 for Jensen Geldart, but the face-off's got to come. That's stepping stones and building blocks here for him. It'll come at some point, but what better time than in this second period?
Some improvement hopefully to come in the second. Dylan, thank you as always for your time. We'll take a quick break. Out-of-town scores coming up next on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey, 100.5 FM WSGW, Carleton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Garber Buick is America's oldest Buick dealership. Our factory-trained service technicians deliver precision care to keep your vehicle performing at its best. We also have an award-winning body shop. We even sell parts and tires. You truly get it all at Garber Buick. Better service, better selection, and better prices. Garber Buick, State Street in Saginaw. Online, garberbuick.com. Buick, exceptional by design.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie now has 2 buzzing locations to enjoy. Visit us in downtown Frankenmuth or in uptown Bay City.
We offer a full bar, menu, and memorable atmosphere. Walk-ins are always welcome, and Bay City is now accepting reservations online at prostwinebar.com. Open 7 days a week, make Prost Wine Bar in Frankenmuth or Uptown Bay City your destination for great wine and even better times.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit hockey team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go Spirit!
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back. Jonathan Denton here with your out-of-town scores presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. Some action around the OHL right now. Some upsets maybe in store as well. The Peterborough Petes, after 20 minutes, out to a 1-0 lead over the Brantford Bulldogs. That game in Brantford. Right now, Anthony Cristoforo has the Windsor Spitfires up 3-1 over the Erie Otters. Cristoforo with 2 of those goals. The Otters striking late in the first, though, to get themselves on the board. Some interleague play. The Gatineau Olympics from the QMJHL up 1-0 right now over the Ottawa 67s. It's a 3-0 lead for the North Bay Battalion visiting the Oshawa Generals. That's despite North Bay being outshot 13-8 through the first 20 minutes of play there. The Flint Firebirds are visiting the Sudbury Wolves, and the Wolves are eating them up 4-0 after 20 minutes of play in Sudbury for the Wolves. It's a 2-0 lead for the London Knights visiting the Sarnia Sting. A scoreless tie in Kingston as the Brampton Steelheads visit the Frontenacs, and a scoreless tie in Guelph between the Sioux Greyhounds and the Storm. In NHL action, it's a 1-1 tie between the San Jose Sharks and the Detroit Red Wings. Take another break. When we come back, second period action as the Saginaw Spirit lead the Kitchener Rangers 2-1 on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Enjoy the spirit of Frankenmuth and score big with your kids at the indoor water parks. The puck stops here in Funtown, where fan favorites include chicken and Christmas, but there's really so much more. Arcades, breweries, carriage rides, shopping, and pretzel rolling. Frankenmuth, where we leave the icing to the dessert. 800 Funtown. No matter how cold it is outside or in the hockey rink, there's loads of indoor fun waiting just down the road in Frankenmuth.
In hockey, every play counts, and retirement's no different. At McIntosh & Associates, we're your financial line mates, helping you skate through the tough stuff. Taxes, healthcare, income planning, and more. You bring the goals. We'll help set up the assist. Schedule your visit at wealthmichigan.com or call 989-692-2200. Retirement made clear, with a team that plays to win.
At Dow, we believe performance starts long before the whistle blows. It begins in the lab, where science meets sport. From apparel to playing surfaces to gear, we create cutting-edge materials that help drive high performance from lab to stadium. Because in sports, just like in science, every second counts, and every material matters. Dow, at the intersection of sport and science. Learn more at dow.com/sports.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Second period action here from the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. The Saginaw Spirit, a 2-1 lead to begin the middle frame. No carryover penalties or power plays. The Rangers control off the center ice face-off, moving right to left. Intercepted, though, by Saginaw's Igor Barabanov. Looking over for Levi Harper. Long pass that does not connect with the stick of Nikita Klepov. Goes down for icing and shaves just 13 seconds off of the clock here in the second period. If you're just with us, Klepov and Rauja, his first OHL goal back in the first, and a shorthanded goal from Cameron Reed, the only markers on the board here in this game so far. And an 8-2 shot advantage for the Kitchener Rangers. Saginaw converting on both of their shots so far in this contest. Though a Kitchener Ranger hockey club with a plus 31 goal differential, 141 of them, 142 now in the back of the net on the season. We don't anticipate that'll stay that way for very long. And here's a chance right off the faceoff. Reed, a shot stopped by Stepan Shurigan. But a penalty upcoming against the Saginaw Spirit. It'll be for slashing. There's 19 seconds into the period. Saginaw to their second Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill here in this game. Klepov will sit down for the slash, as he just tried to shut down that chance from Cameron Reed right on the doorstep. Reed got free. Klepov a little whack, and it's down across the top of the stick. Just narrowly misses the hand of Reed. Faceoff will come in the right wing circle here. O'Reilly, Humphreys, Jack Pridham. Off the faceoff, Reed will help to pull this back. Now Pridham, the one-time shot, he scores! Top of the left circle. Took just seconds. Jack Pridham on the power play, and it's a tie game at 2. Well, that is what this Ranger power play can do. Jack Pridham, 26th goal of the season. That is now alone as the second most in the Ontario Hockey League. 13 points now in 7 games since the Christmas break. Steps right into it. Really no hesitation on that feed from Cameron Reed. Up past the glove of Stepan Shurigan. Not sure if he was screened or not on the way through. But the Rangers have evened the game. Shorthanded and power play goals for Kitchener. As this is back now in Ranger real estate, Brody Popoy tries to throw the shoulder around. Woolley up the boards. Helped along now by Luca Romano. Down the right side, trying to put it towards the middle. It's taken away by Saginaw Stepan Shurigan, sweeping that aside. Rangers force a turnover. The returning shot by Dylan Edwards snapped wide. Romano down to the left wing corner here for the Rangers. Offensive end pulled away by Saginaw's Kluche. Gets it between the legs of Dylan Edwards. Now up and ahead. Josh Glavin leads the charge back in. Got spun around. This is back down in the right wing corner. Carson Harmer against Dylan Edwards. Harmer backhands this up the wall. Graydon Jones, left point. Back across. Blake Barnes inside the line. Finds the man Harmer in the left circle. Lays a pass back. Jones, this shot deflected by Popoy, and a save made by Kirsch. Back up the near wall. Rangers cut it off. Ellis nearly had his pocket picked by Barnes. Looking for Geldard up high. It spills back out to neutral ice. 90 seconds gone in this second period. Now Barnes back in. Takes a heavy check by Jared Woolley right in front of the Spirit bench. Rangers try to clear. Goes off the skate of the official. Bodie Stewart now. Right wing corner of the Rangers end. Goes to work against Woolley. Jensen Geldart there. Tries to sweep it in front. Broken play. Stewart right on the edge of the goal crease. Geldart can't backhand it home. Ryan Hanrahan from the corner back to the left point now. Long shot. Right pad save made by Kirsch. It was Graydon Jones who let that shot go. 2 against 2 in the far corner, and the Rangers come away with it. Short pass to come up the near side. That'll be flipped towards the middle by Cameron Arquette. Rangers settle it down. 2-on-1. Tanner Lamb curl and drag. That one follows him into the corner. Well read by Saginaw's Graydon Jones. Blake Barnes tries to shut Kitchener down. This is Hayden Ellis in the circle. That one knocked back now. And a point shot saved by Shurigan off the stick of Max Diracolo. 17:38 left. Second period. Ellis the shot. That one rides up from the left circle, and another save by Shurigan. Now it ends up back behind the net. Graydon Jones pulls it out for Saginaw. 3 Spirit players are back there. They can't get it, though. Away from the Ranger that's got it pinned against the wall. Now spills back in front. Couldn't be turned home there. A chance from Andrew Vermeulen. Saginaw just able to chip this back out. Ryan Hanrahan on the backhand. Now Graydon Jones leads the charge down the right side. He's at the end of a long shift and gets heavily tossed into the wall. Rangers start the counterattack. Levi Harper cuts it off at the Spirit blue line, and his pass was intended for Barabanov. Needs some help, though, from his goaltender, Shurigan. Then Barabanov drops it back for Jones. 3 minutes gone in the second. 2-2 off the equalizer from Jack Pridham. Saginaw gets it out of the zone. This is McNeil. Back in the Rangers' end, up for Vermeulen. Then out to center ice. The bouncing puck caught off to by Saginaw's Levi Harper. Lachar is in pursuit. He got a piece of the goaltender, Stepan Shurigan there. Lachar spills down in the corner, and the Spirit are guilty of icing. 16:39 left in the second period. Matthew Lachar, 7th rounder by the Toronto Maple Leafs this season, known for throwing the body around and playing with that buzzsaw edge here in Kitchener. Takes a little bit of a detour through the Spirit goal crease. No trouble, though, for Stepan Shurigan. Face off in the right wing circle here. Rangers win the offensive zone draw. Back to the point. Campbell's shot goes wide. Off the wall. Looking back up to the point. It'll be stolen by Saginaw's Levi Harper and backhanded ahead looking for Zhilkin. Campbell cuts that off at the Ranger blue line. Zhilkin trying to pick the pocket of Humphreys. Rangers on the cross corner dump it. Braden Jones right back out there. On the icing here, Barabanov. Good stretch pass. Couldn't be handled, though, by Zhilkin as it popped off the heel of his stick. Carson Campbell gets to it first in Ranger real estate. Pridham will send it back now for Cameron Reed. Then over to Carson Campbell. Up the far side to neutral ice. Rangers run into Nikita Klepov, but they do send this cross rink. Then it's back for Campbell again. Zhilkin in a forecheck here. Good shift for the Spirit captain. Reed lays it up the far wall. Rangers spend a lot of time in the defensive zone, but they do break it out. This is O'Reilly. Down the right side for Pridham. Cross ice. Locked to the corner by Saginaw's James Go. 2-2 here in the second period. It'll stay. 15:40 left in the frame. Here comes James Go back into the offensive end. Back through Jack Pridham into the far side corner. Saginaw tries to pull it out. But the pass looking back for Drew Roscoe misfires, and he's back in the Saginaw end as well. Sawyer Schmidt hit by Pridham. Moves the puck, though, to James Go at the offensive blue line. Barabanov tries to duck out of a check from Dylan Edwards. Rangers can't get this puck back out to center. Uri Rauja holds it there on the far wall just inside the offensive blue line for the Spirit. 3 against 2. Rangers against Spirit on the far wall, and Saginaw could not quite keep that in. Sawyer Schmidt had it pulled off his blade, so it's back in behind Stepan Shurigan again. He plays it. Rims this one high up off the glass. Out of play. But it did hit at least one pane of glass, maybe 2 or 3 before it found its way up and out of play. And so it will not be a delay of game penalty against the Spirit netminder. Just 2 games on the weekend here for Saginaw. It starts out a 6-game road trip. Kitchener tonight, Erie tomorrow at the Erie Insurance Arena against newly minted Otter captain Tristan Trevino and the rest of the Otters in a very different looking group. The last time the Spirit and the Otters came together. Saginaw tries to clear the puck out of a D-zone face-off. They get it as far as center. And it's a former Otter in Dylan Edwards who made Saginaw's spring quite miserable. 11 points in 5 games in the playoffs last year, but it's taken away, though, by Saginaw's Brody Popoy. Back in behind the Ranger goal. Up the far side, they will escape out to center ice. Edwards knocked down. Carson Harmer takes a check from Romano, but moves the puck back to Xander Valeris. Up the wall. Deflected back into the Rangers' end by Popoy. On the wrong side of the red line, though. So it goes down as an icing. 14:20 left in the second period. The power play goal for the Kitchener Rangers from Jack Pridham, which has tied the game at 2. Makes now 6 power play goals against in the last 5 games here for the Spirit. Again, penalty kill, 76%, 16th in the OHL coming into this game. Not ideal, but they have been dead last for a number of weekends. Trending in the right direction. Rangers win an offensive zone faceoff. Tanner Lamb fires it back in behind the net of Shurigan. Xander Valeris tries to cut it off there for Saginaw. This is Cameron Arquette. Back up at the right point. Balecki shot into traffic, ends up in the corner. Cross ice feed, looking for Ellis there. Pops off his stick. Brody Popoy just gets it out to center. This is Tanner Lamb at the Kitchener blue line. Carson Harmer steps up and delivers a check. The puck put back into the Spirit end. Jacob Kluche on the pass around from Xander Valeris. Lamb there to intercept, but it's going to pop back over the stick of Josh Glavin. He chases it down in the far corner. Sent back up to center ice. Tanner Lamb takes over for the Kitchener Rangers. 13:35 to go. Tied at 2 here in the second period. Ellis now into the left circle for Kitchener. Drops a pass back. Arquette then at the blue line. This is Diricolo. Steps into a shot and a shoulder save by Shurigan. The rebound is there. May have made a second stop. Ends up back in behind the Saginaw net where it's Jacob Kluche. Winnipeg's 7th rounder gets it in front of Valeris. He gets his pocket very easily picked up. Diricolo throws it rink wide. Tanner Lamb couldn't make anything of that pass. He tries the Michigan here. That one knocked off his stick. Loose puck right in front. Kicked out by the right pad of Shurigan. Saginaw's got to get this from the front of the net. Just sent up and all the way back down, right in front of the Spirit bench. Thought it went out of play for a moment. No icing here. The Saginaw gets out of danger there. A little bit of luck, a little bit of good goaltending. Fired back in behind again. The net of Shurigan. Big time collision as James Go got sandwiched by a pair of Rangers. Go gets it back, trying to play to the boards. This is Sawyer Schmidt now. This is how the Rangers wear you down. They've got it again. Big time collision. Diricolo, rink wide shot against the grain. That one sent wide. Saginaw just gets this back out to center as Carson Campbell retreats against the forechecking of Uri Rauja. Weston Cameron up off the boards. Here's a chance now. McNeil down the right side. The shot turned out by Shurigan, and he reels it in to cover for a faceoff. A little bit more of a dust up back and behind the Spirit net after. James Go against one of the Rangers. Andrew Vermeulen will be chased from that scrum. 12:22 left in the second period. It'll stay a tie game. Stepan Shurigan holds up his end of the bargain here. Rangers out shooting Saginaw 14-4. We're back to the odd here in a moment on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Midland. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see how you can get it all at Garber Midland at the corner of Saginaw and Eastman. See all our inventory online at garbermidland.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Liam Storch, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back inside the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. 2-2 between the Saginaw Spirit and the Kitchener Rangers. The power play goal from Jack Pridham, who has now taken over sole possession of second in the OHL in goal scoring. It was his 26th of the season. Started the Rangers on the right foot here in the second. They've got points in 4 straight. They are gunning for a deep playoff run. They have made trades to bring their total number of NHL drafted players to 12 on their roster this season. And they've even gone as far as picking up players from rivals. Jared Woolley, Sam O'Reilly, former London Knights, have now been enlisted here in Kitchener. As the Rangers look to work out of their defensive end. Saginaw cleared off of an icing face-off. This is Reed. Goal and an assist for the Ranger captain in this game. Carson Campbell into the corner. Now a point shot. There, skips wide. On the right-hand side of Stepan Shurigan. So Nikita Klepov moves it to the middle. Barabanov ducks out of the way of a hit coming from Pridham. Now down the wing. Jones tries to float that puck back in front. Klepov back down in the corner. Barabanov in the trapezoid. Taken into the boards by Cameron Reed. Klepov is there to help him out. Off the near sidewall. Picked up his 24th goal this season to open up the scoring for Saginaw. This one now taken by Humphreys out at neutral ice for the Rangers. Cuts into the offensive zone. Pridham tries to hit the trailing man and Campbell. Taken away, though, by Barabanov. Pass goes off some skates, and now Drew Roscoe kicks this back into the Rangers' end. We got a stoppage here and a delayed penalty upcoming. Jack Pridham and Dimas Jilkin got tied up in behind the play, and Pridham's going to go to the box here. And he's the only one. 11:26, or 11:16 rather, left in this second period. Pridham not a fan of Jilkin right now. They got locked into the wall. Boy, oh boy. Pridham lifted up the leg of Jilkin and threw it over the top. Little WWE move there from Pridham. Jilkin no worse for wear. That was a interesting play. Not sure exactly what you would call there. Interference, maybe holding. Roughing could be a potential call. Jack Pridham in the penalty box, though, for the Kitchener Rangers. Saginaw to their second IBEW Local 557 power play in this game. The Rangers clear. And it is a roughing penalty to Jack Pridham. Jilkin, Klepov, Barabanov, Luce, and Carson Harmer out on the power play here for the Spirit. 31 power play goals in the year. But again, the Rangers, their OHL leading 12th shorthanded goal scored earlier in this game as Kluche's in down the right side. Hits the trailer, Barabanov, left circle, Harmer Back through the seam. Right side. Klepov fakes the delay. The shot there by Klutze. They score on the rebound. Dima Zhilkin right on the doorstep cashes in. Saginaw takes the lead. A fantastic hesitation move to keep things going from Nikita Klepov. There is no reason why Klepov should have been able to hesitate that cleanly. The little cutback against Gabriel Sherratt in the right circle. Everybody thinks Klepov's going to let that go. Instead of taking the shot, cut back, see ya. The shot from Zhilkin, or the shot rather from Jacob Klutze, and it's banged home on the doorstep by the Spirit captain Zhilkin, his 21st of the season. And a power play goal here for the Spirit with lots of time. They've got a 3-2 lead and a shot right in. Shoulder down by Stepan Shurigan, back at even strength here. Rangers back in their own end. Up the near side. Dylan Edwards. Laid back in by Reed. Klepov and Klutze have the assist from the Zhilkin power play goal. The Spirit take a 3-2 lead despite being outshot 15-6. Puck deep in Spirit real estate. Surely not done in this game yet. We're halfway through it, almost exactly. 10:04 to go in the second period. The puck at center. Off the far boards. Jensen Geldart back for Blake Barnes. Looking ahead for Bodie Stewart. Collision in the neutral zone. Luca Romano. Turned back down the left wing corner boards. And Sherratt, the reverse hit there against Saginaw's Blake Barnes. Rangers reaching a level of frustration in this game, and it was a penalty taken by Pridham out of frustration. James Go pulls things away here, now in neutral ice, and James Go attacks the open ice ahead of him. The drop pass for Stewart fought off by Kirsch, and a heavy rebound. Nearly put back towards the Ranger goal by somebody in blue. It's Hayden Ellis, and now the Spirit trying to break back in offside. Brody Popoy got in ahead of things. A goal and an assist in this game for Nikita Klepov. Primary helper for Jacob Klutze. And how about the last run of games? For Jacob Klutze and Carson Harmer, who have been more or less attached at the hip since they arrived in Saginaw. But since December the 12th, Harmer, 15 points in 12 games. Klutze, 12 points in 12 games, 13 and 13 now, if you factor in tonight and the primary assist. If the Spirit team is to be successful, you need those guys to be point-per-game performers, and that's what they've done for the last month. Klutze back out of his own defensive end now. Inside 9 minutes left in the second period, 3-2. Saginaw's got the lead. This is Glavin now. Cutting back along the far corner. Getting some help from Carson Harmer. 2 Rangers there as well. Alexander Bilecki keeping that puck along the wall. Lachar trying to pull it free. Rangers get it up, and the backhander out to center ice will be corralled by Xander Valeris and tossed across the playing surface. Carson Harmer there to Jacob Klutze, just inside the offensive blue line, delays and comes onto the near wall. A shot deflection, they score off a Ranger again. Klutze picks up the goal. It hit right in front of the net. Alexander Bilecki, the Ranger defenseman, tips it over the shoulder of Kirsch. 8:27 to go, and it's 4-2 Spirit here in the second period. For it to happen once in the game is a fluke. Twice is just outstanding luck for the Spirit. As Bilecki's trying to cut off the opportunity, it wasn't quite a shot towards the net. It really looked like kind of a backdoor pass intended for the Spirit player on that back goalpost. I believe it was Xander Valeris was net front. And Bilecki, a perfect tip just over the shoulder of his goaltender, Christian Kirsch. Jacob Klutze, 10th goal of the season. Saginaw, 4 goals on 8 shots now. 2 of them tipped home by Rangers. Now they come up ice again. Graydon Jones to land back into the corner. Dima Zhilkin off the end boards. Jones back up high for Blake Barnes. Slung over. Igor Barabanov poked away by Weston Cameron, then back out to center. And this is Barnes at his own blue line. Humphreys rips this one back in as he could not skate it into the zone. A big-time collision. Graydon Jones gets flat card there by Lachar. Barnes, the stretch pass. He's going to find Klepov for a partial breakaway. Getting hooked in one hand, the puck towards the net. Great save by Kirsch. Puck up the far wall. The hits are coming out now from Kitchener. Back out to center ice. Dimazilkin tries to pick a pocket. Rangers are onside. Lachar, left circle, snaps a shot off the cuff of Shurigan's glove. Off the corner glass as well. Taken and moved out to center ice by Igor Barabanov. Tries to get wide. Taken into the boards, lost the puck. Getting a little bit more from Max DiRiccolo on the far wall. Some frustration showing here on the part of the Rangers. 7-11 here in the second period. 4-2 Spirit. DiRiccolo turns it back in behind Stepan Shurigan. Sawyer Schmidt pressured by Sam O'Reilly. 2 against 2 in the near side corner of the Spirit end. Puck finally comes out off the wall, and Saginaw going to be guilty of a tripping penalty here, as O'Reilly was hauled down by Sawyer Schmidt. 6:51 to go. The Rangers going to have another power play. Saginaw to the Stormmaster exteriors penalty kill. And the game has a way of equalizing on its own. Saginaw been receiving a couple of gifts here in this hockey game. Schmidt just tangling up the right leg of Sam O'Reilly. And the Ranger power play, 1 for 2 tonight. This is their third chance. And you can tell, since that fourth goal has gone in, there's a frustration factor for Kitchener. They're hitting everything they possibly can. Expect some crisp puck movement here to start out their third power play in this game. Harmer, Valeris, Jacob Kluche, the most recent Spirit goal scorer, and Josh Glavin are the penalty killers out right now for Saginaw. Rangers win the draw. On the far wall, Humphreys back down the boards. Cameron Reed back up for Humphreys. They switch spots. Now Pridham back up. Humphreys center point over. Reed one-timer in the circle, blocked by Xander Valeris. Dylan Edwards gets to this puck out of the right wing corner. Cut off and moved down the ice by Carson Harmer. 30 seconds gone on the Ranger power play. Saginaw, their third Stormmaster exteriors penalty kill here in this game. Rangers start out from their own defensive end. Cameron Reed, the drop pass at center. Back for Dylan Edwards. Cross-ice pass. Reeled in by Sam O'Reilly. Then for Humphreys. Turns around in the right wing corner. Back up to the hash marks. O'Reilly, then to the point. Cameron Reed walks the line here for Kitchener. Humphreys, top of the right circle. Down to the goal line. The bumper to the middle. That pass doesn't connect. Now it's Reed up high. Moved again for Humphreys. Down to the goal line. Sweeping in front. They score. Pridham. It was cut off by Jacob Kluche. The Rangers are going to try to decide whose power play goal that is. 5:55 left in the second. They score on the man advantage to make it 4-3. Nearly halfway through the power play. And with the way they were moving that puck, it was only a matter of time. I think that's Dylan Edwards' power play goal. Down from the goal line, the sweep in front. It goes in off of Jacob Kluche before it even has a chance to get over to Jack Pridham. So Dylan Edwards continues to be a thorn in the side of the Saginaw Spirit. 21st goal of the season. Second power play goal. Rangers 2 for 3 in the man advantage here in this game. And Jacob Kluche, the recipient of some puck luck. It goes off of him as well. He's on the other end of it. Back into the Spirit net. 4-3. Rangers trailing Saginaw now. 5:42 left in the second period. Rangers turn this one ahead. Nearly a chance there for Dylan Edwards as he chases it down into the offensive zone. Puck pulled out of the corner boards. Sherrod up high. One-time shot by Woolley. Pumped wide from the top of the right circle. Spirit trying to dig this puck out off the boards. Romano, left circle. Backhanded pass goes off Graydon Jones and back behind the Spirit net. Jack Pridham tosses Bodie Stewart into the wall. 2 against 2 back behind the Spirit net. It's pulled out now by Graydon Jones and laid ahead to center ice. Rolling puck. Gets past everybody. No icing. Back for Jared Woolley. With his head up. Doubles back. And sends this one rink wide for Alexander Bilecki. 5 minutes left in the second. 4-3 Saginaw. Rangers can't set up in the offensive zone. This goes back down to neutral ice. And down the right wing boards, they'll thumber back around. And behind the goal to step on Shurigan. Drew Roscoe's run into a little bit of trouble here. Back up to the right point. It goes McNeil to hold here for Kitchener. Shot deflected by Ryan Hanrahan. Comes well up into the air. Tanner Lamb drops it off back and behind the Saginaw net. Loose puck in front. That one reeled back in by Klepov. He explodes out to neutral ice. Klepov trying to do it all himself. Can't drive wide there on the Ranger defender, DiRiccolo. Lost for a moment. Gotten back here by Arquette. Klepov steals it off the boards again, trying to turn that puck to the middle for Zhilkin. Comes back up high. Harper, pocket pick there as he's trying to drop it off for James Go. Tanner Lamb makes life a little difficult for the Spirit defender. Lamb hauls down Go. Back behind the Spirit net. Lamb can't put it in front. Centering feed. That one doesn't connect. DiRiccolo, center point. Takes a shot blocked on its way. Picked up now by Dima Zhilkin. Up to the right side. Klepov over the line. Stops back. Tries to make a pass through a falling Andrew Vermeulen. Rangers put it back out to center ice. Vermeulen puts this back in off the near side boards. James Go there for the Spirit. Backhander up to neutral ice. Barabanov. Up for Jacob Kluche. Runs into three Rangers. Lachar on it now for Kitchener. Off the glass and out to Spirit territory. Backhanded away by Go. Barabanov takes the check in front of the penalty boxes. Now up ahead. Kluche, backhanded pass. Too far ahead of Dima Zhilkin. He's got to go back to the bench anyway. Kluche tied up with the referee. Trying to make a play in the corner. Puck rim back up the right side wall. And Xander Valeris puts it back underneath the Ranger goal for Kluche. Up to the left point. Pass can't be handled on the backhand by Josh Glavin. So he sends it up to the neutral zone for Xander Valeris. Lachar trying to pick his pocket. Valeris back for Glavin in the Spirit end. Up to Jacob Kluche. Turns a pass to the middle. Can't be handled there by Carson Harmer. Rangers down the left side they go now. Inside 3 minutes left in the second period. Reed here looking for O'Reilly down below the Spirit goal line now. Emerges on the far side. There's quite a battle in front of the Saginaw goal right now. Reed drops it back off. Carson Campbell poked away by Jacob Kluche. Down to the corner again. O'Reilly taken into the boards. Moves the puck. Now off the wall. This is Reed at the point. Sent rink wide. Campbell turned back underneath the Spirit net again. They continue the cycle. Glavin there against O'Reilly. 3 Spirit players, 2 for the Rangers in the left wing corner. Puck not moving here with 2:14 to go. Campbell's going to sneak off here for the Rangers. That brings on Woolley, and this puck will be blown dead with 2:09 left in the second period along the wall. 4-3 lead for the Saginaw Spirit. It was 4-2. Power play goal from Dylan Edwards has the Rangers within striking distance. We'll be back to finish off the second in a moment here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Welcome back inside the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. 4-3, Saginaw has the lead. Friendly fire has been one of the themes of this game. Dylan Edwards, a power play goal that hits the back of the Spirit net off the stick of Jacob Kluche. Granted, he was cutting off the pass that would have been a more or less a slam dunk for Jack Pridham. But Kluche, the recipient of some friendly fire off of a Ranger stick for his 10th of the season. Nikita Klepov scored off a Ranger as well. Back in the first. Offensive zone draw here for the Kitchener Rangers. Sam O'Reilly wins it. He is 11 of 13 in the game. It doesn't get much better than that from the faceoff dot. This is Humphreys in the right wing corner of the Spirit end. Back around for O'Reilly. Top of the left dot. This is Bilecki. Shovels this one intentionally wide, looking for a rebound off the wall. Saginaw going to be guilty of a high sticking penalty here. 1:46 left in period 2. This is not the way you want to go into the second intermission. Jones got the stick up high. And now that Christian Humphreys' cheek says Bauer, they'll look for blood. I don't believe they're going to find any. But the 4th Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill here for the Spirit in this hockey game. And again, friendly bounces, some big-time saves by Stepan Shurigan. They're a little bit on the fortunate side to be up 4-3 in this game right now. They're going to need a big effort from their penalty kill here. And the Rangers win the offensive zone draw again. Same power play to start out. This is Reed, right circle. Humphreys looking for the bumper shot. Great save by Shurigan, and they put the rebound home. It's Dylan Edwards again. And a tie game at 4. And the puck movement by Kitchener. When you've got the offensive weapons that they do, this is what the power play can look like. Reed down to the bumper. Edwards makes a brilliant pass to the middle looking for, I believe, Christian Humphreys. The initial shot is a fantastic left pad save by Stephon Shurigan. That's O'Reilly who initially gets stopped. But Edwards pumps home the rebound past the glove of Shurigan. Not much he can do there, and we're in a tie contest with 1:36 to go in the second period, 4-side. And again, this game has a way of evening out. Saginaw's been on the receiving end of some great fortune in this game. Rangers even things up here. And Sam O'Reilly to take this face-off against Dimas Yilkin at center ice. Saginaw's won it. James Go up the near side, looking for Nikita Klepov. Attacks down into the right hash mark. And up high for James Go. Center point, Barabanov. Hesitates on a shooting opportunity. Throws it to the net. Knocked down in front off a Ranger. Rebound chance turned out by Kirsch. It was Yilkin who let it go. Now Klepov up to the left point. Barabanov uses the body to keep things alive. Off the skate, then a stick. Levi Harper, left wing circle. The defenseman down low. Watched by O'Reilly. Harper back in behind the goal looking for a centering feed. This one cut off by Campbell. Yilkin back in behind the Ranger net. This is picked up by Christian Humphreys. Backhanded up the near sideboards and out to center ice. James Go. Back looking for Klepov. Taken over now by Cameron Reed, and the Rangers get it out to center. And jam it back in behind the net of Stephon Shurigan. James Go finished off. 43 to go in the second. 4-4 between the Spirit and the Rangers. Barabanov had it knocked off his stick at the offensive blue line. Following on is Yilkin, though. From the corner, back to the point. James Go the shot into the catching glove of Christian Kirsch. For a face-off here, 32.3 to go. His top line here for the Spirit. Barabanov an assist in the game. Yilkin goal and an assist. Klepov goal and an assist. It's been their most dangerous line. One of the most dangerous lines in the Ontario Hockey League to this point in the year as well. It's going to be their best way back if they can find a lead here in this game. For Carson Harmer, Jacob Pluche, Brody Papoy. 4 points in Papoy's first 24 games in the OHL. Of course, the 11 points in 15 games since then. Landed him number 110 on North American Skaters NHL Central Scouting list. This puck back in the Ranger corner. Papoy tries to pull it out. Now McNeil steps out from behind the Ranger net, looking for Arquette up the near side. Floated out to center. Graydon Jones stolen. Here's a chance. They score. Sherrod out of nowhere over the shoulder of Shurigan, the Rangers lead. There is not a soul in white who saw Gabriel Sherrod coming. He explodes through neutral ice. Chris Lasry mentioned that many thought the Rangers overpaid for Gabriel Sherrod at the trade deadline. Players and coaches in the OHL know that's not the case, though. And this is exactly why. 17th of the season for Sherrod. He sneaks in behind everybody. And under pressure and body checks from Graydon Jones, gets a shot up over the glove of Stephon Shurigan. And it just became a tall order in the third period for Saginaw. There's an extra pause. 6.2 left in the second. Is there potential for this to be reviewed for offside? As Aaron Neely is discussing something with the Kitchener bench. I don't see an iPad anywhere. And the puck is down at center ice. That goal counts, and it'll take us into the second intermission. A little bit more chops afterwards as somebody went out to Ryan Hammerhand. It was Hayden Ellis. Now Janet Valeris goes after Ellis. And Woolley is without a helmet. And giving a face wash to, I believe, Josh Glavin. There's some bad blood there. Glavin and Woolley continue to be tied up. Bodie Stewart wants to get a hand in there. And as everybody's going to have to be peeled off of one another. Still 20 minutes of regulation hockey to be played between these two clubs. 5-4. Kitchener has the lead. 6 goals in that second period. 3 of them for the Rangers. And 4 of them for the Rangers, rather. They'll take a 5-4 lead into the third. And interesting, several turns of events in that middle frame. Everybody's been separated. Josh Glavin back to the dressing room. We'll find out what kind of penalties we've got. We'll take a break, though. Second intermission coming up in a moment. 5-4 Rangers going into period 3. We're back on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You're looking for a better price on a better car, so dare to be different. Get to Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw, the only Hyundai dealer in the Great Lakes Bay region. See why Hyundai is so much better. Garber's certified factory-trained technicians, knowledgeable parts staff, and dedicated sales team will keep you coming back to Garber Hyundai. You really do get it all at Garber. Dare to be different. Choose better at Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, garberhyundai.com.
When you're ready for checking that earns interest and gives you perks, Merc Perks Plus from Mercantile Bank is here. With a competitive interest rate and perks like travel services, cashback rewards, and identity protection, Merc Perks Plus has everything you need for your busy lifestyle. Merc Perks Plus also offers discounts on consumer loans and access to almost 40,000 fee-free MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mercbank.com/mercperksplus. Member FDIC.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today. The disability experts in your community.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Chris Barrios to create your personal price plan today.
It's time for your intermission report. In the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, here is Jonathan Dent.
Well, the bounces go one way. They can just as easily go the other way. Kitchener cashes in a couple more times than the Spirit in this second period. A high-scoring middle frame. Let's take a look at it here. Brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. It was 2-1 heading into this second period, and it only took 19 seconds for something interesting to happen. Nikita Klepov takes a slashing penalty, stopping a shot, and the Rangers go to the power play 5 seconds in. Sam O'Reilly, he wins the initial faceoff back to Cameron Reed. He sends it across to Jack Pridham, loaded up at the top of the left circle, and he scores to tie it at 2.
Off the faceoff, Reed will help to pull this back. Now Pridham, a one-time shot, he scores! Top of the left circle, took just seconds. Jack Pridham on the power play, and it's a tie game at 2.
The Spirit put a few opportunities together in the offensive end, looking to respond, but they're held off. At least they're getting pucks toward the net. The Rangers gain control, open up a barrage on the Spirit net. Shurigan is able to make a series of stops, and he finishes it off, stopping McNeil from distance, settling things down. Jack Pridham takes a roughing penalty 8 minutes 44 seconds into the period after taking Zhilkin down. Saginaw, their first power play of the period. And it doesn't take too long at all. The Spirit set up. Klepov pulls out the Kitchener defenders to open up Cloutier in the middle. He takes a shot, and a falling Zhilkin knocks home the rebound to make it 3-2.
Cloutier's in down the right side. Hits the trailer, Barabanov. Left circle, Harmer. Back through the seam. Right side, Klepov. Fakes the delay. The shot there by Cloutier. They score on the rebound. Dima Zhilkin right on the doorstep cashes in. Saginaw takes the lead. A fantastic hesitation move to keep things going from Nikita Klepov.
That goal coming at 9 minutes 14 seconds, 30 seconds into that power play. They follow it up as Jacob Cloutier leads the way into the offensive end. He holds up, takes a shot from the point, and it's deflected in by Alexander Bilecki to make it 4-2 at 11 minutes 33 seconds.
Carson Harmer, there to Jacob Kluche, just inside the offensive blue line, delays and comes on to the near wall. A shot deflected, they score off a Ranger again. Kluche picks up the goal. It hit right in front of the net. Alexander Bilecki, the Ranger defenseman, tips it over the shoulder of Kirsch.
Carson Harmer, Xander Valeris getting the assists on that one. 11:33, the Herman Hisson Company time of the goal. Sawyer Schmidt takes a tripping penalty at 13:09. The rough stuff dialing up. Kitchener gets another power play chance, and 54 seconds into it, Dylan Edwards receives a pass from Humphreys. His pass across the net front gets tipped in by a Spirit stick to bring it within one.
That pass doesn't connect. Now it's Reed up high, moving in for Humphreys, down to the goal line, sweeping in front, they score. Pridham. It was cut off by Jacob Kluche. The Rangers are going to try to decide whose power play goal that is.
Pridham gets the secondary assist. He doesn't get the goal, but at least he picks up a point on the play. The Rangers put together some time in the Spirit end. Don't get much moving toward the net until a penalty on Graydon Jones puts them up on the power play yet again, and it takes 8 seconds off the face-off. They go for a quick bumper pass from Edwards to O'Reilly, and Edwards puts home the rebound to tie things at 4.
Same power play to start out. This is Reed, right circle. Humphreys looking for the bumper shot. Great save by Shurigan, and they put the rebound home. It's Dylan Edwards again.
It's followed up a minute and a half later when Andrew McNeil chips it ahead into the Spirit end. Gabriel Sherratt appears along the right side to battle it away and score and take the lead.
Steps out from behind the Ranger net, looking for Arquette up the near side. Loaded out to center. Graydon Jones stolen. Here's a chance. They score. Sherratt out of nowhere over the shoulder of Shurigan, the Rangers lead.
That goal with 6 seconds remaining in the period makes it 5-4 to close out 40 minutes of play. Shots on goal favored Kitchener 11-9, a much narrower margin in that one. The Spirit are 1 for 2 on the power play this evening. Kitchener 3 for 4 on the man advantage. Scoring in the second, buckle in, there's a lot of them. Jack Pridham assisted by Cameron Reed and Dylan Edwards on the power play. That ties things up. But then Dima Zhilkin on the power play, assisted by Kluche and Klepov, retakes the lead. Kluche scores one of his own, assisted by Harmer and Valeris to double up that lead. And Jack Pridham scores, assisted by Edwards and Humphreys on the power play. Edwards gets one, assisted by O'Reilly and Humphreys. It looks like that first Edwards goal has been credited to Pridham, with Edwards on the assist there. Both of those coming on the power play. And then Gabriel Sherratt with 6 seconds remaining in the period, assisted by Arquette and McNeil. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring Dylan into the conversation, break down that second period a little bit more for you right here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Your active life depends on healthy muscles, bones, and joints. When pain arises, My Michigan Health is your go-to place. Our comprehensive musculoskeletal team offers the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatments and includes experts in specialized orthopedics and sports medicine. Whether your pain originates from your knee, hip, hand, elbow, shoulder, ankle, or foot, our experts can help. With more than 50 providers across 21 locations in central and northern Michigan, we're dedicated to keeping you active. Learn more at mymichigan.org/MSK.
As a business, a roof over your head is just as important as the products you create. At Versatile Flat Roofing, our membrane roofs have provided safety and security to businesses in the Great Lakes Bay region for over 10 years. Our quality of production in low-slope flat roofing systems made Versatile Flat Roofing the 2024 Michigan Elite Contractor of the Year. With more than 1,500 roofs installed and 75% of clients coming from repeats and referrals, customer satisfaction is at the heart of the job. For more information on keeping the roof over your head safe and secure, visit VersatileflatRoofing.com today. That's VersatileflatRoofing.com.
Garber Ford is proud to serve Bay City with the same customer service the Great Lakes Bay region has come to expect since 1907. Our Ford team of experts you know and trust are dedicated to making your experience even better. And your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at Garber Ford. Come see us in Bay City at the intersection of Euclid, Wilder, and Better. Online at GarberFordBayCity.com.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Caravan Facilities Management also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Welcome back. 5-4. The Kitchener Rangers lead the Saginaw Spirit after 2 periods of play as we bring in from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth, Dylan Clark. Dylan, a lot different of a conversation than what we had after the first period. Let's start with the silver linings at the very least. The Rangers tie things up early, but after that, I liked Jilkin. Newly named captain, I guess still pretty new. It's been a few games here. He takes a big hit. He gets in on the power play. He gets to that tough zone, and he's being knocked over as he bats home the rebound to retake the lead.
Yeah. Jonathan, he's only listed as 5'10", but he plays like guys that are 6'3", 6'4". That's why he wears the C, and that's why he scored so many big goals for the Spirit this year. Career high 21 on the season. It's very, very easy to believe that he could be a 30-goal scorer, maybe even get close to the 40-goal mark by the time it's all said and done. You need your captain to be a leader in both what he says and what he does, and he extends the scoring streak to 5 games right now, 10 points in those 5 games. And look, this line here for Saginaw, their backs are kind of against the wall here in this third period to start out. They're going to need to carry the day. Sometimes it's unfair to call on your best players, maybe as often as the Spirit have for a little bit. They might need this group to rescue them. Jilkin's played heavy. He's played kind of the best forechecking role for the Spirit in this game. They need 20 minutes of great hockey out of him.
Absolutely. And we did mention the playmaking from Klepov after the first period of play. Again, Klepov makes that play that leads to that Jilkin goal. When we're looking into this third period and looking at this line to make something happen, is it going to be a pretty Klepov play, or is it going to be a nitty-gritty just knocking home a rebound that gets this going for Saginaw?
I don't think there's enough room out there for pretty plays. Kitchener's really dialed things in here, especially in that second period. Really, the only looks that have been grade A scoring chances for the Spirit. I mean, again, you look at that Kluche goal, friendly bounce, the Jilkin goal on the power play. A lot of hard work went into that. I think it's going to have to be a point shot, some traffic, a deflection, and bang home a rebound, and maybe carry a couple of Rangers into the back of the net with you if you have to. That's really the only way I see Saginaw getting back into this hockey game. They're going to have to pay a physical price for it.
How many times have we said it in a positive way? All of this starts with possession, and that starts in the face-off dot. Right now, Saginaw just not able to make that happen. 32-7, the face-off wins in favor of Kitchener. What's going on there?
Well, Sam O'Reilly's what's going on there. 58.2% on the season. 58.6 coming into the season. He's 13 of 16 in the dot tonight, and he's kind of tortured Carson Harmer, 2 for 16. Barabanov at 2 for 9. Nobody's had a good night in the draw on the Spirit side of things. I don't think that changes very often going into the third period, so it is what it is. So what does that mean? They're going to have to work like dogs to get the puck back because they probably won't start very many possessions with it.
Buyers and sellers at the deadline. This is kind of where it shows towards the later parts of the season. Third period action, Saginaw down 1. Dylan, as always, thank you for your time. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, a look at our out-of-town scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
We're Durolast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Durolast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Durolast, the world's best roof.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back. Jonathan Dent here in the Stormmaster Exterior Studios with your out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Some interesting scores around the Ontario Hockey League and beyond. The Peterborough Petes holding on to that 1-goal lead, 2-1 over the Brantford Bulldogs heading into the third period. It's the same score as the last time we checked in on the Erie Otters and Windsor Spitfires. Windsor up 3-1 halfway through the third period. A 1-1 tie. The Ottawa 67s get it back in this interleague game against the Gatineau Olympics. Right now, Philip Ekberg has gotten the 67s on the board to tie that one up at 1. The North Bay Battalion put up 4 straight before the Oshawa Generals strike back just over halfway through the second period. It's a 4-1 lead for the troops in Oshawa. A 6-2 lead for the Sudbury Wolves over the visiting Flint Firebirds. 4 of those straight for the Sudbury Wolves, an eventful second period there as well. The London Knights lead the Sarnia Sting 3-1. The Brampton Steelheads currently behind 2-1 against the Kingston Frontenacs. Thomas Pobajal has both of those for the Fronts, and it's a 1-1 tie between the Sioux Greyhounds and the Guelph Storm as they're already 5 minutes into the third period. In NHL action, the Red Wings hosting the San Jose Sharks. It's a 2-2 tie in Detroit. And a note on that game, I've got some speculation from a reputable source that's paying more attention to that game than I am, that 2 former Spirit players are on the same line, that being Michael Misa and Igor Chernyshov, who had a very good showing towards the end of last season when they were playing together. So wouldn't be surprised to see them rekindling a little bit of that with the San Jose Sharks. But it's a 2-2 tie after 2 periods of play in Detroit. A quick break. When we come back, third period action between the Spirit and the Rangers here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about, questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Back inside the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium for the start of the third period. A 5-4 lead for the Kitchener Rangers. And a 4-on-4 play right now with Josh Glavin in the box for the Spirit. And on the Rangers side of things, Dylan Edwards. For the rough stuff at the end of the second period. So the Spirit trailing to start period 3. Campbell will drop it back for Pridham off the draw. And the Rangers will attack out of their own end. Campbell back up through center over the left side of the blue line, offside, as the Rangers get in ahead of things. 15 seconds gone here in this third period. They have not started the clock on the penalties. And I don't believe that that's been recognized or realized by anybody. The score clock at center continues to run here as we drop this puck at center. The penalties have not begun to move. Now, easy math. Those guys should be out at 18 minutes left in the third period. Up the near side, bouncing puck. Settled down by Klepov. Spirit in the defensive end. O'Reilly out of the right wing corner. Taken into the boards now by Saginaw's Nikita Klepov. This is moved back up. Center point. Rangers shift in. Reed is bumped by Barabanov. Then turned back up and just inside the Spirit blue line. He drops it off now for Jack Pridham. Pridham curling. Left side. Reed cutting to the middle. Right between the face-off dots. Fought off. A glove save by Stepan Shurigan. Loose puck picked up near sidewall. Klepov. Now up the left side for Igor Barabanov. Poked at by O'Reilly. Barabanov. Bump there. This is Dylan Edwards, fresh from the Ranger bench. So they initially gave the penalty to Edwards up on the big board at center. That might be where the confusion came from. Down the left side, Edwards is into the offensive zone here for the Rangers, and that cross-ice pass comes out the other side. Humphreys regroups for Kitchener back at center. 30 seconds left at 4-on-4. 5-4 Rangers lead it early here in the third period. Humphreys right up the middle. Gets away from a Carson Harmer hit. Pulled back and turned around and onto the tape of Dimas Yilkin now. Into the offensive zone. Yilkin between his own legs. Now comes the rest on the near sideboards. Cutting back to the middle. Yilkin doesn't get a shot away. He's watched by Humphreys. Yilkin shifts on through, and now a shot as the whistle goes. Comes off of a Ranger, and there was a penalty coming. An interference call against Carson Harmer, who comes back with a little stick for one of the Rangers. And I believe Saginaw will be shorthanded out of all of this. It'll be a 4-against-3 power play. 18:02 left in this third period. It'll be Harmer for interference. As he got locked up there with McNeil, trying to set a little bit of a pick play there, and it just kind of crosses the line of interference. Rangers 3 for 4 on the power play here in this game. This is their 5th opportunity. Harmer in the box for interference. Face-off will come on the glove hand side of Stepan Shurigan. Not even 2 minutes into this third period. Bodie Stewart out with Jacob Kluche and Xander Valeris here in the penalty killers for Chris Lazary. Humphreys controls for Kitchener off the face-off. Both sides get a man back. Josh Glavin immediately joins the play. He directs traffic with Valeris. Long shot, they score! From the blue line, Humphreys let it go. May have gone off a body in front. Rangers on the power play make it 6-5. 6-4, my apologies. It's a 2-goal advantage. Four unanswered goals here for the Rangers. Humphreys continues what is now an 8-game point streak. And Shurigan unable to see it until the very last moment when it gets through him. 15th goal of the season here for Humphreys. This is back in behind the Ranger net. That's 4 power play goals here for Kitchener in this hockey game. And now they come back up ice into the offensive zone again. Drew Roscoe trying to knock down a side. Off a couple of skates. Jensen Geldart for Ryan Hanrahan over the right wing boards. This is Bodie Stewart. Now picked up. Hanrahan swung down low. Handcuffed, and now the outlet pass is going to be too far ahead of Sherratt, but he beats out the icing back in the Spirit end. Rangers Dylan Edwards comes out in a turnaround shot on the wraparound. Trying to go low blocker side on Shurigan, who made the save. Denying Dylan Edwards of a hat trick opportunity. James go back in front. Drew Roscoe over for Jensen Geldart. Up to Ryan Hanrahan. Gets to center red. Deposits this back in behind Christian Kirsch's net. Saginaw gets a line change. Rangers break things out. All 5 of them hit the red line at the same time. Send it back in behind the net of Shurigan. 2 against 2 in the near corner. Puck backhanded up to the blue line. Giricolo down the wall. This is stopped up back behind the Saginaw net by Graydon Jones. Then for Barnes up the far wall. Too far for Jensen Geldart to get a handle on. Rangers have it. That one pushed towards the net and wide by Cameron Arquette. Rebound chance on the near side post. Shut down off the tape of Tanner Lamb. Jones goes hard into the wall. Gets some help from Sawyer Schmidt. Back up to center ice, then onto the tape of Rauja. Quick pass is taken away by Ellis. Up to center. Cut off by Josh Glavin. Hit by Popoy. Lamb back. Bilecki takes over here for the Rangers. Back up to Lamb in the neutral zone. He's hit by Xander Valeris, and the puck drifts back into the Rangers' end. 6-4. Kitchener has the lead. 15:49 to go here in regulation. 4 power play goals are the story here for the Rangers in this hockey game. A long shoot-in from center ice, easily blocked aside by Stepan Shurigan. Long point shot. That one hit Barabanov up high on a shoulder there from Woolley. Rangers back in their own end after that puck deflected 200 feet the other way. Andrew Vermeulen behind his own back and in behind the Ranger net. Up the near side boards. Taken away, though, by Zhilkin in the Ranger end. Through some sticks. Zhilkin back underneath. Barabanov battles for it there with McNeil. This one is pulled back out here by Vermeulen. Back up to center ice. James Go off the wall. Barabanov knocks it down. Could not get back in time to the line. Saginaw's offside. Dima Zhilkin got in on that touch there. 5 minutes exactly gone in the third period. Zhilkin having a conversation with the official right now, and the table's tilting. The physicality here by the Rangers starting to close the Spirit out of any scoring opportunities. Brody Popoy off the neutral zone face-off, back for Levi Harper. Bouncing puck on the long shoot-in is blocked back and behind the net by the Ranger goaltender Kirsch. Popoy in front, looking for Carson Harmer, knocked to the wall. Kluche at the point, James Go. Cross-ice pass can't be handled by Harper. Rangers will deflect it back in. James Go has Humphreys on him. Go leaves it off the wall. Pridham now for O'Reilly. Into the left circle, centering feet. A couple of bodies knock into one another. Puck out the other side. Carson Harmer leads the charge back in for the Spirit. The pass dropped off for Kluche. Cross-ice pass is easily read. Rangers knock it back down at center ice, and this is Graydon Jones. Harper for Harmer. Big-time collision. He's knocked into the boards. As Levi Harper's got a little bit more for one of the Rangers afterward. Cameron Reed, and now everybody's going to pair off here just inside the Ranger blue line. 14-14 left in regulation. Stays a 6-4 Ranger lead. Last time these two teams will see each other in the regular season. Not sure what could be possible for the playoffs. Saginaw right now in 8th place, holding on to that last playoff spot. They're 6 points ahead of the Sarnia Sting, who are in 9th. Kitchener in 2nd place at 54 points. So this is very much a potential first-round matchup, depending on how the chips fall. Puck back in behind the net of Stepan Shurigan up the near side. Hanrahan can't get it out. Taken away by Dylan Edwards. He swoops back into the Ranger zone. Edwards down the wing. Trying to turn it in between the legs of Drew Roscoe. Edwards sends this back around behind the Spirit goal. Saginaw gets it back out at least to center, and Jared Woolley just dumps it back in. Drew Roscoe on the retrieval. Can't get it out. Tanner Lamb holds it down the right side. Centering feed. That one broken up by Graydon Jones. Rangers get it back, though. Top of the left circle. Tanner Lamb just inside the line. Hesitates. Steps back. Can't get away from Jones. Edwards tries to steal. Lamb lost his stick, and this puck back out at the Ranger blue line again. 13:20 to go in the third. 6-4. Rangers, the advantage after 4 unanswered goals. Turnover back and behind the Spirit net. Trying to get out of danger here. Jensen Geldart back at center ice. Rangers steal again. Saginaw can't get past center red. Certainly not with possession. They just chip it back out to the neutral zone one more time. 13 to go here in this third period. Back behind the net is Shurigan again. Glavin intercepted. Arquette put it in front. Ellis turning shot. Stopped by Stepan Shurigan. And there is no rebound. He covers. 12:49 left. 6-4 the advantage for Kitchener. It'll be a defensive zone face-off here for the Spirit. Back in a moment on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh and Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh and Associates. Retirement made clear.
This is Josh Glavin, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Things are tight here in the third period between the Saginaw Spirit and the Kitchener Rangers. Hometown team has the 3-0 shot advantage. 22-11 in the game. Our Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters. Shots on goal. D-zone face-off to the right of Stepan Shurigan. And face-offs have been the sticking point for the Spirit in this game. 36-9 in favor of the Rangers. As they've won another one. But Dimas Yilkin beats things all the way back down into the Kitchener zone. Rangers will steal. Back out at center. James Go, back in behind the Saginaw net, trying to pull things there for Barabanov. Trying to get it up to Nikita Klepov. He's taken into the boards. And that zone entry gets shut down quickly. Diricolo, tied up by Nikita Klepov. Andrew Vermeulen, then up the near side wall. Levi Harper keeps it in front of him. Turn back out. Vermeulen gets it around Barabanov. Down into the right wing corner. Centering feed all alone. A shot sent just wide. Not sure how that doesn't find the back of the net. On and off the tape in a hurry for Matthew Lachar. He's tied up by Levi Harper now back in behind the Saginaw net. James Go. Turnaround pass there for Dimas Yilkin. Klepov leads things back the other direction. Lachar got a rough ride behind the play. Klepov fires this up and into the offensive end and actually out of play as it hits off the netting. With 11:39 left in regulation. Saginaw will head on the highway to Erie Insurance Arena after this game. Kitchener, a rare Friday-Sunday weekend here at the Odd Guelph on Sunday evening. They'll have tomorrow to rest and recalculate. Saginaw's got 11 and a half minutes to make sure it's not too restful. Here comes Hanrahan on a 2-on-1 with Rauser. Down the right wing, finds him in front. Rauser the shot. Great save by Kirst as he stuck out the left skate. Rauser nearly had him dead to rights. Back up at center ice. Blake Barnes to Graydon Jones. Then up to Ryan Hanrahan. Sawyer Schmidt tries to backhand it in. 3 against 3 on the near side wall. And Sam O'Reilly put it back into the skates of Sawyer Schmidt. Drops it there for Harmer. Inside the Ranger line. Tries to dive down the alleyway. And back up. This is Schmidt. Left wing face-off circle. A rising shot that's deflected wide. Humphreys. Off the right corner boards. Flips it back out to center. Where it's gloved down by Saginaw's Blake Barnes. Big time collision there as Humphreys goes right through Carson Harmer. They've had a couple of good battles here in this game. More incidental contact in the neutral zone. Gabe Sherratt shoulders in. Valeris back in the Spirit end. The outlet pass backhanded ahead by Brody Popoy. In on the goaltender Kirsch. Knocks it down with the goal stick. McNeil. Back to center red. Into the offensive zone. The defenseman hops up on the rush. Takes it right to the Spirit. And that bouncing puck right on top of the blue paint. Taken away here by Brody Popoy. This is Jacob Cloutier. Backhanding it up and ahead. Without a stick was Valeris. He couldn't make the play. Rangers fired back around. Dylan Edwards into the left wing corner. Then it's James Go. Off the near side glass. Takes a heavy check. This bounces back out to center ice. McNeil fired back in. Can't be smacked down by Shurigan. Ellis down to the goal line. Offensive zone here for the Rangers. Back to the point. That shot ricocheted off a Spirit player. Then the blocker of Shurigan. Kluche takes a look to make sure that stick is still in one piece. 9.5 left in regulation. 6-4 the Rangers lead it. Josh Glavin up to Ryan Hanrahan. Then it's backhanded in to the Rangers zone. McNeil is there for Kitchener. Stops up and jams it off the wall away from Jensen Geldart. Up the near wall. Lamb up to center ice. Spinning puck, settled down by Levi Harper. Up the right side, James Go, drops it back. Bodie Stewart, the shot save made by Kirsch from 30 feet. This one up the near side wall. The glove down by Levi Harper. Keeps it alive. Chopped away by Stewart. Back out to center, though. Rangers have it at the Spirit blue line. Pinballing back and forth. They want to make a line change. Can't do it, though. Finally, the puck has moved back. Hanrahan. Cross-ice pass, settled down by Levi Harper. Up for Bodie Stewart. Chased down into the Rangers' end. Stewart got a stick up high, throws a pass in front. That one cut off by a Kitchener stick. It was Diricolo. Then up the near side out to center. Lamb hit by Drew Roscoe. Puck picked up by Zilkin. Cross-ice feed, reeled in by Barabanov. Hits the brakes at the top of the circles. Throws it near side. Zilkin fakes the one-timer. Takes it right to the net. Taken down, and the rebound chance went wide. The late penalty coming. One-time chance from Zilkin. Hits off a couple of bodies, and play is stopped. 8:20 left in the third period. Zilkin was taken down. It'll be a tripping call coming up here against the Rangers to send Saginaw to their third IBW Local 557 power play in this game. Diricolo for tripping. And this is maybe the last grade 8 chance for the Spirit here in this game. 8:20 left in regulation. They've only managed 2 shots here in this third period. Carson Harmer to take the faceoff. This one moved back by Sam O'Reilly. Another faceoff win for the Kitchener Rangers. And they clear to begin the penalty kill. Same 5. Zilkin, Barabanov, Klepov, Harmer, and Kluche for the Saginaw Spirit. Barabanov has 2 Ranger forecheckers at his own blue line. Zilkin, the quick pass back in. It's off a Ranger. Barabanov, partial breakaway, shoots and a save by Kirsch. Rebound, loose in the blue paint, gotten out of danger. Spirit get the loose puck back. Barabanov over. One-timer by Klepov. That was blocked by Reed. Rangers to the far boards. Klepov settles a turning puck down in between the dots over to the left skate of Kluche. Wanted to one-time that puck, but it was too far away from it. Back to Barabanov at the left point. Into the circle, throws it cross ice. Pinballs around, Rangers will take it away. O'Reilly shorthanded. Down the right wing, thrown it cross ice. The shot, great save by Shurigan. He keeps the puck moving. Zilkin to the corner, pressured there by O'Reilly. And Dima Zilkin tries to settle things down. 54 to go here on this IBEW Local 557 power play for the Spirit. Barabanov gets to the line. Over the left wing, rims it back around. Kluche gets to it, pumps it back underneath the Ranger goal line. Kitchener chops it around. Harmer at the left point, a bouncing puck that does get through. Kluche near side, Barabanov in the circle. Got to settle it down. 2 Rangers quickly over to him. They put it off the shin guards of Harmer. 29 on the power play. Barabanov gets it off the wall, then up high. Dima Zilkin fakes the shot. Barabanov left circle again. Takes a shot. Tipped there by Harmer, just wide. 6.5 to go in the third. Saginaw trails by 2. Bouncing puck in the far circle, and the Rangers clear. Stepan Shurigan. Out to Jacob Kluche. Then Ryan Hanrahan on the retrieval. That'll do it for the Spirit power play. They're 1 for 3. Diricolo out of the box. Rangers back at full strength. Here's Edwards. 2 goals in the game. Cuts into the slot, lost the puck. Back down below the Spirit goal line. Pass does not connect for Romano. Back underneath the Spirit net. James Go is there and tries to escape. Backhanded pass out. Lamb knocks it down at the Spirit blue line. It settles down, though, for Ryan Hanrahan. Into the zone with Harper driving the net. Sent towards the goal and a save made by Kirsch. 5:53 as he gets the face-off here in this third period. 6-4 Rangers. Might see a goaltender pull soon here for the Spirit. Back in a moment to finish regulation on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about, questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Ryan Coe to create your personal price plan today.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Inside 6 minutes left in regulation here from the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Some puck luck early on for the Saginaw Spirit. Their luck seems to have run out here. 5:53 left in regulation. It's been all Rangers for the last little while. 4 unanswered goals. And Christian Humphreys, a power play marker to start off the third. Saginaw unsuccessful on their most recent man advantage. But an offensive zone face-off here. Barabanov between Zilkin and Klepov. Stepan Shurigan is still in the Spirit goal crease for now. Spirit win the draw. Zilkin rips it back around. Romano nearly turned it over. James Go does force that turnover in the circle, and he's after it in right wing corner. Rangers flood over to him. They clear the puck back out to center ice. It drops down in front of the glove of Levi Harper, taken here by Romano. Tries the loose puck deep. Now a late stick breaking there for Dylan Edwards. Could have been a grade A opportunity right between the dots. Fortunate bounce there for the Spirit. Big hit there as James Go gets stepped up on by Jared Woolley. Rangers back out from behind their own net. McNeil leads the charge into the offensive zone. Dylan Edwards was well offside, so the Rangers dump it back in. It hits the broken stick in the corner. Dimas Jokin, a little trouble up the wall. Klepov chopped there by Ellis. Levi Harper back in behind the Spirit net, just rimmed around. James Go got it too far away from Barabanov. This is not a good sight to see. Saginaw guilty of icing here. They can't get it out up the near side wall, so they try to reverse it. And it's just out of reach. James Go taps it around as he felt the pressure of the Rangers back and behind the Spirit net. Well, that means it gets out past the stick of Barabanov, all the way down for icing, so they're trapped in the defensive zone. 5 minutes on the dot left here in period 3. 2-goal lead for the Rangers. Barabanov to take the face-off against Hayden Ellis. Ellis, who's won 3 of 4 draws in this game, is going to win another one. Diricolo, point shot. That one tipped off the goalpost. Off the glass, and say it stays in play. Cameron Arquette back up. Another point shot, tips wide. Dimas Jokin back in the Spirit end. Off the end boards behind his goaltender. James Go, stretch pass picked up by Jokin in the neutral zone. Hits the offensive blue line, cuts back and snaps a shot. Big time collision as that puck goes into the glass. Bouncer in the corner. Rangers kick it around. Jensen Geldart. For Lamb. Geldart now a stick lift here by Hanrahan. Klepov. Turn back around. Up the far side wall. Cameron Arquette. Rangers will take over. Flip back out. And a bouncing puck in on Stepan Shurigan. Sweeps it to the side. Blake Barnes. Back in behind his goaltender. Runs into a little trouble in the form of Cameron Arquette. Now finally this one pulled back in between the dots. Saginaw not quite out of danger yet. This one finally knocked down by a Hanrahan. He's got a double back. Sent back over to Levi Harper. Stretch pass knocked down at the offensive blue line by Geldart. Hanrahan following on. Rangers get out of danger here. 3:45 to go in regulation. 2-goal advantage for the home team. Hanrahan reels this puck in. Tried to send it towards the middle, looking for Bodie Stewart. That one's rejected. Back out at center ice. Barabanov is back on. Igor Barabanov for Dimas Jokin. Tries to get low on Vermeulen. Rangers shut it down, and it's Barabanov, the last man back in the Spirit end. For Zilkin. Back to Barabanov. Picks up off the wall. Crosses center red. There goes Stepan Shurigan. Extra attacker coming. Barabanov, left wing corner of the Rangers end. Brody Popoy is the extra skater. Rangers flip it out over the head of Jacob Kluche to center, where it's Dimas Zilkin. 3:13 left in regulation. Zilkin back in his own end with Weston Cameron forechecking. Barabanov up to center red. Hits Popoy over the right wing. Shot gets deflected wide. Back up the right side. Barabanov, bouncing puck. Kept alive. Zilkin, a point shot. Thunders wide. Kluche back in behind the Ranger goal. Up the near side. Jilkin. Back to the left wing corner. 2:45 to go in regulation. Spirit need 2. That is empty. Barabanov seals off the left wing boards. Keeps it alive. Takes a check for his work. Now Jilkin back to Barabanov. Over right circle. Klepov hangs on to it. Works back into the faceoff dot. Takes a shot. Stopped by Kurz. Jilkin, or Klepov now on his rebound. Jilkin up high. The one-time chance by Barabanov fanned on. Igor Barabanov takes another shot. That gets blocked. Turned around. Barabanov tries to keep it away from the Rangers. Lachar's got it in the neutral zone now. Barabanov gets it back. 2:17 left in regulation. Far side. Brody Popoy drops it off. Here's Klepov. Wading in. Takes the shot. That gets blocked. And up out of play. 2:09 here in regulation. Heroic work in the defensive zone. The Rangers blocking shot after shot. Now a timeout being called here by Saginaw, I believe. They need some rest for their top dogs. Chris Lyons got the whiteboard out here. Well, the Rangers started things out. Both of these two teams scored on their first shots of the game. Cameron Reed, a shorthanded marker back in the first period. Nikita Klepov got a favorable bounce off a Ranger for his 24th of the season. Uri Rouser scored his first OHL goal. Jack Prim would answer on the power play to start out the second period. Jilkin and Kluche for Saginaw. But then the Rangers break away with 4 unanswered. Jack Pridham, Dylan Edwards, both of those on the power play. Gabriel Sherrod and Christian Humphreys. Kitchener, 4 for 5 on the power play in this game. 2:09 left in regulation. 6-4 lead for the Rangers. And a net empty for the Saginaw Spirit. Carson Harmon to take the face-off. And the Rangers will win it again. It was Sam O'Reilly. But Saginaw cuts off the boards. Carson Harmon up high. Now for Barabanov. Back over to Nikita Klepov. To Barabanov. Near side. Jilkin one-timer. Fan on it. Broken play. Loose chance in front. Popoy jamming after it. It goes behind the net. Rangers follow him there. Puck is into the skates of Humphreys. Pridham takes it away. Looking to turn up ice. He's cut off, though, by Jilkin in the corner. Released back to the left point. Barabanov. 1:40 to go. A shot fought off by Kirsch. Jilkin in the left circle. Back up to Barabanov. Over. Klepov fakes the one-timer. Back to Kluche now. His shot gets blocked on the way through. Back in behind the Ranger net. Harmer there for Dimas Jilkin. Center point. Barabanov hangs on to the puck. Near side Jilkin on the return pass. Can't get the extra pass in front. This has gotten back up just inside the offensive blue line for the Spirit. Then it trickles back to neutral ice. Barabanov has a Ranger on him. Pridham towards the empty net and in. A bouncing puck and a valiant effort for the Spirit. Jack Pridham, second of the game, 27th of the season. 1:15 left in regulation. That'll put things away here for the Kitchener Rangers. About 2 minutes of extra attacker work in the offensive zone for the Saginaw Spirit. They do get a lot of good work. But in the end, the Rangers are able to overpower things back into the Spirit end. They will take a 7-4 lead and very likely the series sweep against the Spirit. The Saginaw does pick up a point in a shootout loss for the Rangers back on December the 13th, but that seems to be all for this one. Strange start to this game for Kitchener. There was some frustration at the end of the first period and at points in the second. Dylan Edwards continues to be a headache for the Saginaw Spirit. 35 seconds left in regulation, a 7-4 lead for the Kitchener Rangers. He's got 2 goals in this hockey game. Cameron Reed, a goal and 2 helpers. Jack Pridham completing the hat trick, tacking on an assist as well. As this is Ryan Hanrahan. We gave that power play goal that we originally gave to Dylan Edwards. It seems to have been credited to Jack Pridham. We'll see if that gets adjusted. No hats were thrown onto the ice at that Pridham goal. It's all academic at this point. 7-4, our final score here on this Friday night. The Rangers defeat the Saginaw Spirit. And as is customary, some parting words between these two teams Not much, though. Not much. 5 unanswered goals for the Kitchener Rangers. Low shooting game, 25-17 for the home squad. 4 power play goals, tough to overcome. 7-4 Kitchener. They continue a streak of points in 5 straight now. The Rangers win number 26 on the season. Saginaw 15-20, 3-4 now on the year. We'll take a break. Post game, 3 stars. What's next? Back after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails, or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Well, the Rangers able to hold on to their lead, extend it a little bit here in the third period, and Saginaw falls in their first game of an extended time on the road at a score of 7-4. Let's take a look back at that third period, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. It was 5-4 Kitchener heading into this final frame. Josh Glavin and one of the Rangers start out the period in the box. It was Cameron Arquette starting out in the box for some 4-on-4 time to start things out. Rangers set up offensively. Cameron Reed breaks to the slot for a nice chance. Shurigan gets big, makes the save, but Carson Harmer, just as that 4-on-4 is expiring, takes an interference penalty. 4-on-3 for a couple seconds, quickly turns to 5-on-4, and Christian Humphreys, he's holding at the blue line as things return to that, takes a shot through traffic and in to make it 6-4.
Both sides get a man back. Josh Glavin immediately joins the play. He directs traffic with Valerius. Long shot, they score! From the blue line, Humphreys let it go. May have gone off a body in front.
Reed and O'Reilly, the assists on that one. The Rangers were able to hold things in the Saginaw end for some extended time. The Spirit got a few clears. They do a great job limiting chances through several shifts. And when they do break out, it's a 2-on-1 rush. Hanrahan finds Uri Rauja right in front. His shot is just stopped by Christian Kirsch.
Well, here comes Hanrahan on a 2-on-1 with Rauja down the right wing. Finds him in front. Rauja the shot. Great save by Kirsch as he stuck out the left skate. Rauja nearly had him dead to rights.
They put together a bit more offense, building on that, and a timely power play, 11 minutes, 44 seconds, as Max Diricolo takes a tripping penalty. They get together their best sequence of the period, a series of shots early on in the man advantage.
Joking the quick pass back in. It's off a Ranger. Parabana, partial breakaway, shoots and a save by Kirsch. Rebound, loose in the blue paint, gotten out of danger. Spirit get the loose puck back. Parabana over. One-timer by Klefov. That was blocked by Reed.
Sam O'Reilly and Jack Pridham break out shorthanded, 2-on-1. O'Reilly feeds Pridham, and Shurigan follows it across for a great save. It's our My Michigan Health save of the game here in the third period.
Throws it cross ice. Pinballs around. Rangers will take it away. O'Reilly shorthanded. Down the right wing. Thrown it cross ice. The shot. Great save by Shurigan. He keeps the puck moving.
Stepan Shurigan stopping 18 out of 24 shots faced here tonight. That's our My Michigan Health save of the game. He's pulled not too long after that with about 3.5 minutes left in the period for some 6-on-5. The Spirit controlled for a long time in the Kitchener end. They just can't get too much heading towards the net. After some of that extended time in the Rangers side, Jack Pridham battles a puck down the right boards, and it is a battle all the way, but he does score on the empty net to make it 7-4. Shots on goal even in the final frame, 6-6 for a game total of 25-17 in favor of the home team. Saginaw 1 for 3 on the power play. Kitchener 4 for 5. That face-off win counter that we've been paying attention to, 41-11 in favor of the Rangers. Scoring in the third, much shorter list than the last time we talked about this. Christian Humphreys, assisted by Cameron Reed and Sam O'Reilly on the power play, and then Jack Pridham unassisted into the empty net. That's it for this game, but let's take a look at our out-of-town scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Most of these have gone final, and if they haven't, they will be by the time I get to them. The Brantford Bulldogs come from behind win 4-3. Peterborough led until 12 minutes 44 seconds in the third period, and with just under 2 minutes remaining, the Bulldogs get that one back. 4-3 win for Brantford there. The Windsor Spitfires got out to a 3-0 lead early on in the first period, and they hold on a 3-2 win over the Erie Otters. The Ottawa 67s 2-1 over the visiting Gatineau Olympics from the QMJHL. A goal in the second and a goal in the third for the 67s see them to that inter-league play victory. The North Bay Battalion close out a 5-2 win over the Oshawa Generals, and with a goal from Ethan Persession in the final minute to seal the deal on that one. A 7-2 win. Well, there's still a minute left, so things could change, but the Sudbury Wolves looking to close out a 7-2 lead over the visiting Flint Firebirds, that game in Sudbury. A 4-1 win for the London Knights in Sarnia against the Sting. A 6-3 win on home ice for the Kingston Frontenacs over the Brampton Steelheads, and the Guelph Storm fall to the visiting Sioux Greyhounds 3-1. In NHL action, the Detroit Red Wings pull out a 4-2 win over the visiting San Jose Sharks. Neither Michael Misa nor Igor Chernyshov finding their way onto the score sheet in that one. That's all we've got for you here in the studio. We'll send you back now to the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth and Dylan Clark for our Applebee's 3 stars of the game.
Thanks, Jonathan. Lots of scoring in this hockey game. 11 goals between the Kitchener Rangers and the Saginaw Spirit in a 7-4 win. Dimas Yulkin, he's been Saginaw's best player in a number of hockey games this year. Extends his scoring streak now to 5 games, 8 points in that span. He had a goal and an assist tonight. He's your 3rd star of the game. Cameron Reed got the scoring started. Goal and 2 assists for the Ranger captain. He's your 2nd star. And they do credit Jack Pridham with 3 goals and an assist. So a 4-point night for Pridham. Takes over or ties the OHL goal-scoring lead as well. So not a bad night for him. He's your 1st star of the game. And again, 3 stars brought to you by Applebee's. Our Applied Innovation look ahead. The Spirit conclude this portion of the road trip tomorrow night, 7 o'clock puck drop in Erie against the Otters. We'll start pregame here on WSGW at 6:45. And then the next leg of the road trip, Thursday, January 22nd at Peterborough, Friday night against Kingston, and then Sunday, January 25th against the Ottawa 67s, 3 p.m. puck drop. The Spirit will be back home after a visit to Sarnia on Friday, January the 30th. They'll be back home against the Barrie Colts on January the 31st. A long way away. Lots of road hockey between now and then. We'll have it for you here on WSGW. 7-4 Rangers over the Spirit. Your final score, Saginaw now 15-20, 3-4 on the season. Thanks to Jonathan back in the studio for all the work he's done with us tonight. My name's Dylan Clark. Thank you for being with us here for another installment of Spirit Hockey. Good night, Saginaw. We'll talk to you tomorrow night in Erie.
You've been listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. All season long, the Spirit play on WSGW 100.5 FM and online WSGW.com. We now return to regular programming on WSGW.